All right, we are finally back in Friendsim 2, and I should have all my loaded save games. All right,
Saturday,
here
September
we go.
30th,
Jeez,
2023, 2300 hours.
September.
Miss
Jeez, that's
Hart's
like
journey
6
will
months.
continue in Volume 12, Isle of the Dark Lotus Eaters.
All right,
Return,
let's
continue
go.
to the next volume. This route contains content warnings for existential/identity crisis, unreality, discussions of state/institutional violence, sexually suggestive language and situations. Route has action sequences. Player discretion is advised.
Excuse me.
You lift the heavy metal maintenance hatch with a huff. It falls silently to the side and you emerge. Triza.
All right, let's
Self-racing
read
disabled.
this. Triza. Hoping that Clown Bay is on board with what I'm really about. Alright, who's Clown Bay? Okay, Marvis Zalado. Yep.
Self-voicing enabled. The crunch of otherworldly grass is pleasant to your ears. You go to take a breath of what you think will be fresh air. The air is light in your lungs and feels almost dreamlike. You're immediately hit with the glare of hundreds of neon lights. It's so bright here, and against the stark black sky, you feel transported to another dimension.
So they've got some kind of like a wiggle effect going on the background here, which it's okay. I mean, with the extra foot, I suppose, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to be saying that it's like warm here or like heat rising, like heat diffraction. Well, whatever.
It's so real here, very dense. Too realistic, it's almost scary. Your heart is hanging in your stomach. Like trapezing through the fourth dimension. It feels like the particles you're breathing in are mixed in with little reflections of light. You take another breath in and the smell of popcorn and burnt sugar fills your nostrils. The garish giggles of electronic clowns fill the thick atmosphere. The jangs and pangs and bangs of games and rides echo through the grounds. Wait a minute. Where are you? How are you outside? In front of you is what looks like a neon carnival. It sits in an open field. You search for stars above you, but the sky is pitch black.
So where exactly were we? I think weren't we on like some I'm talking about the end of the last chapter. Oh yeah, we were in some off-planet building, and then we climbed up, I think.
Something in that sky leaves an eerie purple haze on the land. Impossible. The last thing you remember was being on a spaceship. And an Alternian spaceship at that. There's no way a place like this could exist on a spaceship. Spaceship.
So, funny thing about that, that's actually, the song's actually called, like, Entrance of the Gladiators or something like that. It was originally meant to be some kind of, like, big grandiose thing like that, but then it just got associated with carnivals and stuff like that, so, sure, yeah, okay, whatever. So, I suppose it kind of fits with the whole purple blood thing with their gladiatorial, yet, clown thing, you know what I mean?
Weirder things have happened. Your mind races back to the training satellite that Skylo was trapped on. But here, everything looks blurry but clear at the same time. You feel a bit disoriented, seasick. There's no one around. In this distance, you see that everything everywhere is covered in neon blinking lights. Bulbs and wires of all sizes. There are attractions and concessions of every kind. You hear music playing, it's carried but also twisted by the plasticine wind to your ears. It really looks like someone could have a lot of fun here. You look around to see what game you'll try first, only, wait. When you turn to look, the place was almost, if you shift just this way, it looks like. Never mind. It's just a carnival. Well, not just a carnival. Its existence alone is enough to make anyone double take. But it is a distraction. Find your friends. You decide to enter the carnival and scope the place out. What really is going on in this carnival in the middle of nowhere? You pass through the gates and enter the ticket line. As you walk, signs that say repent and that'll cheer you up. Sad fool, you got a roof above you, and if not, you got 2 legs beneath you, and if not, at least you ain't getting beat down and shot. You walk past stands and concessions. You see some games that are labeled tests of strength, and other caravan stands advertising opportunities like a chance to witness the world's strongest burgundy blood. The Rust Runt. On the caravan there is an illustration of a very slender burgundy troll struggling to lift a twig with a hot dog on it. That feels familiar, thematically speaking. A ride with, escape the dark carnival, a journey through the afterlife. Looks like a fun one. You see a balloon and dart stand. Instead of regular balloons, the balloons have cartoon faces of lower blood casts. You approach the balloon and dart stand and try to throw a few darts at the remaining balloons. You go to pick up the dart, but it's way too heavy for your arms. Maybe it is true what they say. You go around some posts, which leads you to a back area of the carnival. There are tons of caravans sporting all sorts of titles and attractions. Each caravan has its own array of light show and flair. There seem to be areas for the traveling performers to cook and eat. Even makeshift showers set up for bathing and washing clothing. One catches your eye. Mysterious Mill and KO, mystical mirrors.
Mysterious Malenko, because they're still playing off the whole insane clown posse type thing. Okay.
In the distance you notice a giant multicolored circus tent. Its peak stretches way into the sky and looks like it could swallow the carnival whole. You walk towards it and its grandness blows you away. Its peak reaches way into the sky, but then you notice how the black sky is interrupted by the sun. It appears to be housed in a massive helter-skelter in the center of the area just above a gargantuan carousel. The carousel beckons to you from here, like a mouth with hanging teeth, pulling you in. You feel like Odysseus resisting the whirlpool in the jaws of Charybdis. You shake off the stare of the carousel and stick your head inside of the circus tent and see what wonders it holds inside. Trapezes and high wires are set up above, and the area is surrounded by seats in staggered rows. Usually they are set up in a circular fashion, so the clowns and players can perform below. This tent is set up like a church, with rows all facing a lifted stage. It feels like this tent could house thousands. You begin to picture in your head what it might look like having all of the trolls you've met, happy, enjoying a night at the carnival. This reminds you of why you are here in the first place. Find your friends. You begin to approach the carousel. The vast glowing purple sun rising about the helter-skelter and carousel makes you shudder. There's something about this that feels strangely familiar. You remember a green sun in the sky before, burning in the center of your mind. But there's something about this sun that's just a bit off. It's just so.
Yeah, I think there was something with
runs towards you,
Karako's.
almost so distracted you didn't see her.
Karako's quest line or whatever from the original Friendsim, where you like hallucinate the Dark Carnival or something like that.
It's Karako.
Yep.
Wow.
There we go.
It's so great to see her. Yeah, the last time we saw her she murdered a bunch of people, but it was self-defense. And plus Karako is cool. But she's so young, compared to basically everyone else you've met off-world. Someone this young surely shouldn't be here. What Brynja said echoes around inside your mind. It feels like so long ago now. She seems to have been faring all right through. Not too battle-torn? Maybe she has someone looking out for her. Maybe she knows where Marvis is.
So, if I remember right, Karako, like, didn't actually say anything. And, also the elephant in the room, you know, in the original Friendsim, Karako was a boy. They obviously decided to, intransinate here, but whatever, moving on.
She definitely wasn't who you thought you'd see, but she's someone who can hopefully give you some answers about what's going on here. You shake her hand earnestly. She smiles.
Save a
Save slot.
scammer.
Save. Close.
That one I don't really get that, because Cargo was young in the earlier one, should be older now. Where you are?
Kariko smiles at you and silently mouths words. She begins making shapes with her hands. Oh, that's right. Kariko uses ASL to communicate, Alternian Sign Language. The only thing is, you don't understand it at all. Kariko, honk. Kariko rolls her eyes and makes a sign with her hands that, hey, wait, that doesn't look like ASL, that's just a rude gesture. She grins at you and waves a hand. No big deal. Ask where everyone is, Kariko. Kariko tries to use ASL, but the look on your face is very clear that you don't understand. She pauses for a moment, then she uses the sign for sleep. She starts with her dominant finger extended and spread apart. She starts by covering her face and then moves her fingers down to end with her hand below her chin and her fingers touching her thumb. As she makes the sign, her face relaxes and her eyes get droopy to add to the effect. Oh, you get it? Everyone's still asleep. It's pretty late, that makes sense. The carnival is closed and the acts need time to rest. Kariko jumps up and down with joy that you understand her. What is she doing here? She's too young. Kariko. Kariko shrugs her shoulders and shakes her head. Kariko, honk. Apparently, she has a question of her own. She looks around for ways to communicate. Out of the corner of her eye she spots a poster sporting the rules for a carnival game. She points for you. Kariko, what are you doing here? Kariko, not safe. Interesting, not that you exactly expected safety here, but still, interesting. Cool and awesome and definitely not terrifying. Let's cut to the chase.
And I think one of the Jades was looking for Kariko or something. I forget if it was main Jade, like what's her face, Bronya, or if it's maybe it was Elward, who's not a Jade, but whatever.
Does she know Chahat? Marvis, the twins.
So I do gotta say, out of all the blood casts, the purples are probably my least favorite of the whole blood cast, but Chahut, or Chahat, or however the hell you pronounce it, is probably my favorite purple out of the group. So hopefully we get to see her at some point in this one.
Kariko. Honk. Kariko has a shocked look on her face. You panic. No, not like that. You definitely don't think all purples know each other. You have a ton of purple friends and would never imply. Kariko laughs at you. She signs something that resembles the word for love. She points at another poster. There's a great big picture of Marvis Coloto, an advertisement for his act, it looks like. Again, Kariko points at the sign for the game, and the Marvis poster. You're getting surprisingly good at following this extremely non-standard method of communication. Kariko, magical Marvis. Kariko, good. Kariko, friend. Not only does she know him, she adores him. Kariko gestures over her shoulder for you to follow her. You don't know exactly what's going on, but you're hopeful that she will lead you to Marvis. Kariko walks you through the carnival living area. You pass by little quaint caravans covered with posters and lights. You begin to approach the largest caravan with a grand door. This is definitely where the ringleader of the circus operates from. You approach the door, suddenly very cognizant of exactly what you're planning to do here. But it's okay, right? You and Marvis were cool. Kariko. Kariko, honk. It looks like Kariko is building up the courage to knock on his caravan door. She uses the sign for wait. You should remember that. Might come in handy when hanging out with Kariko. She listens for a second. Inside the caravan you can hear someone rapping to a beat. Kariko smiles as she goes to rap on the door.
I think rap in this context is just R-A-P, not W-R-A-P, but whatever.
Just as she goes to knock, a big ringed hand grabs her wrist and pulls her through the door.
Yeah, I think R-A-P in that context comes from the word rapport, which is R-A-P-P-O-R-T. So, whatever.
It's you. Come in quick.
Oh, voice
You
acting.
hurry inside, and as soon as you step through the threshold you feel a shiver run all over you. Things feel different now. Like stepping outside on a cold winter's day or getting out of a warm bath. A painful kind of clarity. Marvis looks happy to see you, and smiles a big, handsome, extremely toothy grin. But it's not the same kind of welcoming smile you saw on Kariko. This smile is knowing.
So this chapter did take a long time to come out, so I'm going to have to assume that maybe the voice acting was part of the reason for it. Although, then again, they had voice acting in the other ones too, didn't they?
Buddy, you ain't supposed to be here. Then again, this little one neither. What's one more rascal to the bunch? She's good at collecting them.
Yeah, just don't assume I know anything about how this game is made. Moving on.
Marvis signs something to Kariko. Kariko giggles and gives Marvis a big hug.
Hopefully nobody saw you two fools.
Save Skamoo, although it'll probably be like the other ones where you just go through the entire list.
Why is Kariko here? You were wondering why she was here. It doesn't look as if Kariko is of age yet. Like, it's always been kind of vague, but you got the sense that most of your friends went off-world at around 10 sweeps, which Kariko is definitely not.
Trolls this young are meant to be taken, but due to the rarity and flarity of us purples, the Empire just snatches us whenever they want, every so often. Many of us never get to come of age on Alternia. There wasn't even anything I could do. I could sense it coming. I knew that no matter how much I played my part, stuck to my role as a loyal spokesman for the damn Empire itself, I'll be ripped away from my life. Some trolls believe us purple bloods mature faster than others. I call it damn abuse. Why do the rules only apply to some and not all? It's discriminatory and perverted.
Kariko deserved more time away from this place.
And that is the fucking truth.
What is this place?
Oh, hey, MSPAR-TV. Welcome to my crib.
You look around Marvis's place. There are balled up pieces of paper all over the room. Some with writing on them and music notes. Big posters of buff depictions of Marvis, and corkboards with scrambled words and symbols. But most importantly, there is a giant wall of empty Faygo cans.
This is my special caravan. You impressed? As you can see, I take interior design very seriously. Over here is the wall of me, and over it is the other wall of posters of me. Over here I map up my choreography, wink wink. And here you can see a mad tower of Faygo, my life's blood.
Kariko laughs at Marvis and pretends she might knock over the tower.
I intended to buy myself some Faygo to drink while I was playing this, but it's surprisingly hard to find around me if I don't. Well, I just have to drive like maybe 10, 15 minutes, but still. That's, too far. Jeez.
No, don't! Do you know how many cans I had to get through to get it to look symmetrical?
Ask about the mess of papers.
Showbiz, buddy. Carnival style. I'm a rider. What do you expect? The Empire holds me at a very high standard.
He performs in the carnival and writes his own songs.
Every song gotta be perfect. Cleaning is not my top priority, believe it or not. Between performing every single fucking day and coming up with new material, not much room for it. Plus, I gotta spend time with Shouty, right?
Kariko. Honk. Kariko and Marvis do some kind of special handshake with signs mixed in, something you can't even begin to follow along with.
I will say, I don't think they had this in previous chapters, but where they are stopping the auto voicer for the voice acting, I appreciate that.
Empire tried to make this seem a little less like motherfucking forced servitude by letting me write my own songs. You're in the presence of my drafts now. Here's a good one.
Although I could just be misremembering, but whatever.
Ain't no chance to swing. Took my life down to the brink. Solving riddles like the Sphinx. All I know is that your toxic love stinks.
Marvis, ain't. Kariko claps along and signs something. She takes an open palm and uses her middle finger to tap on her chin. You gotta admit, it's a catchy song.
It's Cargo's favorite. Nah, don't lie. All my songs are your favorite.
So is Kariko just mute and not deaf? I really don't remember from Friendsim 1.
Hey, real quick question, and you don't want this to come across
I
as
suppose that makes
insensitive
sense.
or anything.
Not off to a great start, buddy.
But why is he talking like this? You didn't get to speak to him a lot before, but you feel like he's not quite the same as he was in a way that feels extremely deliberate.
Buddy, you think I always talk like I'm singing and dancing for the man? You want me to tip my little hat and say, thank you, sir and ma'am, to the Vala Bloods that have been so gosh darn good to me too?
You can feel the blood rising up into your forehead and cheeks, a veritable river of blood-based embarrassment. This seems to amuse Marvis more than anything else.
I honestly don't remember talking to him in the previous one, so moving on.
I know you don't mean anything by it. You only know what you've been showing us all, like a little grub.
So, this has been fascinating and not mortifying in the slightest, and you are actually, genuinely happy to hang out with Marvis and just, chill. But back to this carnival on a spaceship and how it even exists in the first place.
This ain't no carnival. This is a fucking mirage. A bunch of smoke and mirrors. This carnate paradise is generated by a severed tentacle of Glibgalib. You know, all hail Glibgalib and all its motherfucking manipulative glory.
Your mind kind of sticks in gear for a second. You weren't expecting to hear that particular name here, Glibgalib, that thing that was Fifery's Lucis. Although you guess it's not her Lucis yet? Or won't be, ever. The time stuff is still kinda hurting your brain.
And yeah, I think I mentioned before, but they also decanonized the 2 adventure games, the Hive Swap ones, I think they were called. So everything that happened there doesn't happen in this one, and which makes sense because I think the 2 twin purples, I think one of them dies in there, or maybe they both do, or whatever. It's not canon in this one, so moving on.
But he's talking about a severed tentacle?
You know that great big creepy sun? Inside, the eldritch psionic energy warps his air into a carnival dream.
This must be the reason for the unreality around you. That's terrible. Not only have these trolls been ripped from their homeland, some when they're still wigglers, they're forced to perform. Forced to perform in a seriously fucked up version of their afterlife.
Real fucked up. That's why I drink this Fago.
Why is he so obsessed with Fago? You bet he barely sleeps. Those things are jam-packed with caffeine and other things, you assume.
No need to sleep. Like I said, Fago's my life's blood. 1 can and my mind is released from the slimy bonds of Glibgalib. That shit keeps us apart, buddy. Shadows people and culture all the same. More fans tune into your sideshow bullshit, more favors and privileges you get.
Marvis' voice sounds strained, like he hasn't really been sleeping much, which kinda tracks with the whole consuming Fago constantly bit.
Had to bust my ass to get my own caravan. They don't want me to have a space to be scheming. But with all the material I'm putting out, they'll never find out. This Fago is the key to our rebellion.
Your head snaps up, like someone just did a keyword search on your brain, but Kariko grimaces at this.
Kariko, I know you don't want to risk it, but with this cast as my family, closest I'll get anyways.
Kariko, honk. Something in your heart twists a half turn. You remember what Brynja said about Kariko going away to be with her family.
And I ain't gonna sit here and let them be used like pawns in some fucked up game. Manipulated into being the Empire's damned forces.
Marvis shakes his head slowly.
I've just been thinking about doing something big. I can't just come out and say it, you know?
What's that one?
Can't do it alone. But I gotta keep it on the low.
Garun. You know how powerful the Empire
I think I've been thinking about doing something
Garun.
big. Could change
What's your
everything,
big
buddy.
plan for Marvis, I can't
Even
just
my
come
chitter
out and
feed
say
is
it,
curated.
you know.
And that's way of saying
Can't do
motherfucking
it
censor.
alone.
But that can't stop me
But
from
I
spreading
gotta
the truth.
keep it on the low.
Songs
Smiley
full of
face.
subliminal messaging, calls to arms, meeting times, bits of our scripture, but it ain't fucking working. Can't reach my sibs in the prison of the motherfucking mind.
He leans in closer, his voice dropping to a whisper.
But just imagine, what if we took away the power source? What if we made a stand, showed them that we ain't gonna take their bullshit no more? It could be the start of something real, buddy.
Marvis straightens up, a sly grin spreading across his face.
Gotta be smart about it. Can't let them see us coming. We gotta move like ninjas, moving in the shadows, taking them down one by one. And when the time is right, no more motherfucking sun.
Carico, SHHH. Well, that one wasn't hard to figure out. Carico is glaring at you and Marvis now. Honestly, you're surprised he hasn't blown up the sun yet. He seems, like, really excited by the possibility.
Believe me, I thought about it. But there's extenuating circumstances, buddy.
And what are those?
Narrative constraints. The choice between salvation and revolution ain't mine to make.
You are feeling about the normal amount of confused for you lately, but also a little more unnerved than the usual amount. Marvis had always been mysterious, but this felt like something different entirely. Carico, honk. Carico signs rapidly, her fingers moving fluidly as Marvis watches her intently. You watch the exchange, feeling a little left out but also fascinated by how in tune these two are. Marvis turns to you, with a thoughtful expression on his face.
Carico would much prefer salvation over revolution. We're her family. She doesn't want to risk losing us in a violent rebellion when a risk-free option is available.
Carico. Marvis hesitates for a moment before responding to Carico. He speaks along as he signs with his hands.
I'm willing to accept that, if it's what you choose. But there's one condition.
Carico gives a pleading look.
The fucking tentacle. Either way, it's gotta be dealt with. The ones you leave behind, they deserve a fighting chance.
You're beginning to feel the weight of the decision. It's a tough choice, but ultimately they know what has to be done. Carico, honk honk. Marvis turns to Carico and signs and speaks again.
Thanks, girl. You make a motherfucking salient point. We'll take it into consideration.
Carico smiles. Okay, this has been extremely enlightening and also kind of heartwarming to watch, but what does this all have to do with Fago again?
Here. It's Moon Mist, the objectively best one.
Carico grabs a can of Dr. Fago and shakes her head. She clearly insists you drink this one.
Carico, please. Everyone knows Moon Mist is a superior flavor.
I honestly don't know my Fago flavors, but I think it Moon Mist is probably like the Sprite Fago, and then Dr. Fago is probably like some like cinnamony.
Take Carico, honk. Carico looks very pleased. She gives you a straw. You take a sip of the Fago and immediately you feel its power rushing within you. You're not sure if it's the massive amounts of caffeine and sugar or something else. As you drink, the world around you seems to get a bit hazy. You take another swig from the can of Fago, the sweet, fruity liquid invigorating your senses. As you look at the vibrant circus through Marvis's windows, you can't help but notice the slightly off-kilter angles of the tents and rides, and the peeling paint revealing the old wood and scaffolding beneath. The piles of trash and debris scattered throughout the grounds further punctuate the reality of the situation. But the colors. Oh, the colors are so bright and beautiful that it's almost hard to focus on the truth. You know that the tentacle's psychic powers are at play, trying to alter your perception and bend your will to its desires. But the Fago is keeping you grounded, protecting your mind from GL Galip's grasp. As you take another sip, you feel a renewed sense of clarity and determination to see this through to the end. And just like that, your vision clouds up and you see the carnival dreamscape again. But the realization of what's going on here is still there. The tentacle and the evil empire have taken control of their minds, erasing any sense of their true selves and replacing it with their own twisted ideals. Your heart sinks as you realize the extent of the damage that has been done. These purple bloods have lost everything, their identities, their heritage, their very sense of self. They were nothing more than pawns in a game they didn't even know they were playing. You can't just stand by and watch this happen. You had to do something to break the spell, to free them from the tentacle's grasp. But where to start? The task ahead of you seems daunting, but you know that you have to try. You owed it to these trolls to fight for their freedom, to restore their sense of self and their rightful place in the world.
We need to find Shahut. In the holy
There we
texts,
go.
there are ways to protect the mind, body, and soul. Truth be told, there's a lot of fucking stuff. How to do worse burial, wedding rituals, and even how to protect yourself from eldritch beings.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it'd be extremely useful right about now.
Chaha knows about all that shit. She's using her free time and Fago to rewrite some of our oldest texts from memory. Also, you gotta find the twins. They got a psychic link that proved pretty damn useful.
Friendsim and Baisley. You know them. They're friends of yours.
Buddy, everyone is a friend of yours. Here.
Marvis gives you bottles of Fago Red Pop and Moon Mist Blue, gesturing at one and then the other in turn.
These are the strongest we've got. Drink Red Pop when you want to see this place as it really is, and have the Moon Mist Blue when you want to return to this Carnival Clown Circus Dreamscape Horror Fest. You don't have a lot of time in the Dreamscape, though. The longer you're there, the more influence the tentacle has on you.
Okay, you think you've got this one. Blue pill to stay in the dream, red pill to see how far down this rabbit hole goes. All that good stuff. But you still don't know Kung Fu.
Buddy, what the fuck is that?
What?
Nah, I'm fucking with you. But seriously, if you don't drink the Red Pop in time, you might end up stuck in the dream. Forever. Good luck.
Kariko tries to pull Marvis out the door with you as you leave.
Sorry, girl. The moon is soon to rise and I gotta start the show again. And I can't be caught outside before that. I'll catch you later, buddy. Got a feeling that Shahut will be in the church.
They do their secret handshake again as you and Kariko walk out of Marvis' caravan. You stumble out of Marvis' caravan, feeling almost hungover from drinking the Fago. All around you, you can see how this place really looks. The shiny veneer of the dream world is gone, and although you're still pretty impressed that this is all here on a spaceship, it's definitely not exactly a pleasant place to be. As you orient yourself, you take some deep breaths. The air holds this plasticky taste, almost like sweet formaldehyde. You are grateful for the taste of Fago in mouth. Kariko points at a "You Are Here" map. You see that you're currently in the residential area, where Marvis's caravan is. There's the carousel in the middle, and the circus tent, and the main area with all those games and rides. Weird, you don't see the church pictured or written anywhere on the map. Kariko shrugs and shakes her head. Yeah, of course it's not gonna be that easy. You grab the map and shove it inside your hoodie, which is starting to smell pretty rank at this point. Kariko. Kariko points at the main area on the map and grins. And she's gone before you can say anything else. Probably a good idea to set up that whole investigation module thing in your palm husk again. That's proven to be really useful so far. If you see Tagora again, you should really thank him for the palm husk. Of course, you feel like it's pretty unlikely that you're going to run into Tagora here, of all places. The color of the caravans is still there, but it's lost some of that shimmer from when you first saw it. Instead, everything feels so much more lived in. More than anything, it strikes you just how quiet it is back here. You assume that the sky overhead is either some kind of massive dome or a trick of projections. Either way, there's no wind blowing, just a kind of low droning noise that never seems to get any closer or further away. Location. Rundown.
Alright, save the scum.
Save. Close. Location.
Rundown
Rundown caravans. Location.
Talk, no one to talk to.
Location.
Evidence, got no evidence.
Selected. Selected. Select.
Okay, so
Location.
locations.
Actually getting a chance to take stock of Marvis roof, you notice just how incredibly small it is. And the roof looks like it's got a bunch of holes, showing through to a red tarp pulled over the top. You would have thought that a big-time guy like Marvis would rate better than a little 10 by 15 crammed full of stuff with a busted roof, but you guess he can't exactly go complain to anyone.
Okay.
The mirror is surrounded by a bunch of colored bulbs, illuminating the area with a mixture of purple and yellow light.
Okay, got that. Anything over here?
The shelves are covered with jars, cases, and bottles. They all look like they're full of various types of makeup and skincare products.
Okay, good, because don't want to bother trying to click on any of that.
Location.
Hat.
Oh, top hats? You love top hats? They're so fancy looking. You wonder if Marvis would mind if you tried one on.
Buddy, don't even think about it.
Oh man, that sucks. Location.
Coat.
It looks like Marvis has a bunch of different outfits in various colors. They're all stylish, and extremely well cared for. This looks like a collection of feather boas and other accessories, including what looks like a set of actual troll horns. At least there isn't a head attached to the horns. Location. Location.
Yeah, nothing else here.
What does he know about the world out there? You're getting the sense that Marvis might have had, let's call it limited access to information in the last few pereges. How much does he know about what's happening down on Alternia, exactly? You know he had access to Chitru, but it seems like that might have come with a few conditions.
Conditions, they say. Buddy, you don't know the half.
But, like, does he have a general sense of what's been going on? It's been exciting. Filling 11 volumes of action, adventure, and even a little bit of romance. Marvis shrugs.
I know some of us might be nervous to take on Glib head on, but I know we are strong enough to do it. I hope you don't run out of time. I'm sure your friends need you.
What does he know about the church? You're not sure exactly what the deal is with the church. Like, is it a real, actual clown church like the one back on Alternia? Or is this more of a metaphor for something else, sanctuary as a general concept, perhaps? Maybe the church is simply...
It's one of the only things they'd let us have. We can gather there and not be watched 24/7. But what does it matter? With Glib over our fucking shoulders.
Maybe the church isn't there at all. Maybe it's just a mental construct that exists in a purely theoretical state, like the value of currency within an exchange-based economy or the inevitable return of parachute pants as a fashion staple.
Nah, it's as real as you and me, buddy. As far as finding the damn thing goes, I hope you're clever.
Marvis winks at you. Does he have any hints? You know that being slightly mysterious literally all of the time is kinda Marvis thing, but that's really not helping you right now. You need to find the clown church, metaphorical or otherwise, and you need to find Chahat and the rest of your friends. Preferably before your exposure to GL Calyp's presence melts your brain out of your eyeballs.
Oh, don't you worry, buddy. I got you. Just gotta be subtle about it. Never know who's hearing or watching y'all, you know? But I'm sure you got the speech before, right? Click on everything and some bullshit from the gal in the space dye robes.
You think so? That sounds familiar, at least. Like you've done it at least twice in the past, even.
Familiar will do, buddy.
So, click on everything?
Sure. Solve some puzzles, maybe get some hints from it. I ain't Lucis.
Okay, next.
Location. Rundown caravans.
Okay, oh yeah, didn't actually click on any of these.
None of these caravans seem to be occupied. They vary from looking like they've just recently been abandoned to being pretty clearly abandoned for a while. Dust coats most of the windows, and the doors look like they're rusted shut. Location. This caravan looks important. You can see blood splatters near the door in a way that feels extremely purposeful. Doesn't look like anyone is home right now. Location.
This is probably the church then. with the blood splatters.
It's really hard not to think that the giant, purple school bus probably has some significance here. It looks like it's been converted into a living space, or maybe that's what school buses are all like on Alternia. You guess you've never actually seen an Alternian school bus, so you suppose it could be standard that they're designed to be lived in? There's just so many Alternian school bus facts you don't know. As you approach the bus, you notice that it looks like something is wedged into the doors. If only you could figure out how to get it loose. It looks like there's a flyer jammed into the bus door. You think you might be able to open the doors a bit and grab it.
Give it a try.
Okay, you got this. You think you can wedge the door open a little bit, and then you'll have to move fast. It all happens so fast that your mind doesn't even register it as pain, more like a dull impact followed by your arm going instantly numb. Oh no, you're losing a lot of blood. Been a while since you had a good old-fashioned Miss Morrisonidiot death.
Yeah, that one kind of
Council
caught
will
me
see you now.
by surprise. I think I can turn down the
Piece by
speed
piece
a
you
little
feel
bit.
reality slowly falling around you. You feel a great force pulling you in every direction, atom by atom. The feeling in your body washes away. First the taste in your mouth goes and the feeling of your breath cooling the spit on your tongue disappears. Your ears start to feel full of molasses, or how they feel when you're swimming at the bottom of a deep pool. Then slowly, like a Game Boy on low power, your vision flickers away. All the physical pieces of you have dispersed and what's left behind is consciousness. Although you no longer have use of your senses, you are able to perceive a voice, using a sense you didn't know you had. You can't describe this feeling. Seer of breath. No. Don't panic. SHHH-. It's gonna be okay. Seer of breath. Did you make a mistake? Everyone makes mistakes. You don't want to be here. You need to get back to your friends. Seer of breath. You know that I'm not just like here all the time. I have a life, you know. Seer of breath. I'm not just sitting, well, floating in the void, just waiting around for you to make bad decisions. Seer of breath. Why is it always you? It's never someone fun who wants to hang out for a bit. Maybe sing some songs. I have karaoke. Seer of breath. You got that toxic love. WAO. Please. You don't know how much time you have. Can they please help you? Seer of breath. Why are you using your beautiful formless conscience to yell? I'm removing, from the void. It is done. Seer of breath. Hello. Do you have anything to say for yourself? I know what you want. Your friends. Seer of breath. But before you go, tell me. What is your hope for them? You want to help them fight? Seer of breath. You face a fearsome foe. Remember, no one deserves a life in bondage. Seer of breath. Deep breaths, brave one. Rephysicalizing in the real world only hurts, like, a little. But, seer of breath, good luck. Location.
Okay, dude. I already got that.
Loc
Let's try this again.
Say, close. It looks like there's a flyer jammed into the bus door.
I think it was like right around
You
here.
think you might be able to open the doors a bit and grab it. Okay, you got this. Grab it, huh? Got it? You're able to get the mechanism open just enough to reach in and grab the flyer before it crushes your fragile little bones. Oh, weird. It looks like it's got a bunch of random bits cut out. Location. Location.
Evidence. Cut out
Cut
flyer.
out. Location. Run down caravans.
It looks like a
It
flyer
looks
for
like a flyer
launchers,
for a
but
clown
random bits are
church,
cut out,
but
and you can't read the
select
text.
Location. Marva's caravan seems to be the only one that's actually occupied, the faint glow of light from inside accompanied by the noise of him moving around, Thinking out loud. Location. Location. Weird. It looks like there's a hole in the base of the tree.
Hoo-hoo.
Look in the...
What is going on
Looks
here?
like a network of tunnels connects this whole place.
Took a peek inside the hollow, okay.
Too bad the opening is just slightly too small for you to squeeze through. Location.
Alright, so what is
You
this?
take a small sip out of the can of moon mist.
Oh,
and the world
shoot.
swims around you. Out here behind the main carnival, the sounds of the midway have dropped down from maddening to merely slightly over. Out.
Okay,
Accessibility.
that's
Out here Quit. Load.
that's like not
Load
even
slot
fair.
6. There's
I'm gonna have to do this again.
Load slot. It looks like there's a... Give it a try. Okay. Oh, grab it. Ah. You're able to get the... Oh. Location. Locate. Weird. It look in... It looks like a net.
Okay. Save it here.
Save.
I want to
Save.
explore everything
Next.
before I
Save lo-
try doing that.
Location.
Location. Main field.
Without the benefit of the phago-induced hallucinatory state you were in before, this whole place looks like the morning after the circus last performance. Everything is being packed up and put away, and the only thing you smell in the air is the faint odor of mud and spoiled carnival food. The only sound is the low droning noise that seems to basically be everywhere around this place. You wish you could turn that off. Location. Looks like the stage area is being taken apart and packed up, but no one is around to finish working on it. You can't quite tell what ride this is, since it's half covered and packed up. It kind of looks like a tilt-a-whirl. Oh man, you haven't been on a tilt-a-whirl in forever. Well, at least you think you've been on a tilt-a-whirl and you think that it made you feel like you were gonna barf afterwards. Location. Location. You're not sure what was supposed to be in this tent before, but it looks like it's completely collapsed. Locate. The Ferris wheel sits dark and quiet, unmoving in the still, artificial air. That's too bad. You wish you could ride it at least once. Locate. Peering behind the tarps, you can see booths filled with disassembled games, food stands, and other miscellaneous carnival stuff. Looks like it's all being packed up, or abandoned. Location.
Okay, that's nothing. Talk.
Thank her for coming with you.
Oh. Save the scum
Save-
first off.
save- Thank her for coming with you. Kariko smiles. She holds one finger out on each and then claps her hands together. She pretends to flex her muscles. Two heads are better than one. So, about Brynja. You know she probably doesn't want to hear this right now, but Brynja misses her. She says she's hopeful that Kariko is okay, but that she's worried about you. Kariko smiles as a tear leaves her eye. Kariko, honk. You can't really follow the conversation that's happening in Kariko's hands, sadly. But you do manage to catch a few gestures, the show of cradling someone in her arms, like how the Jade Bloods held the grubs in the cavern. Kariko. But then Kariko balls up her fists and you can see the other side of her personality, the way that she fought those sea dwellers. Wait, did that happen? Your head hurts. Kariko. You're not gonna lie, you feel like there's a level of complexity to what was going on with Kariko and Brynja that's way beyond your abilities to parse. You know they meant a lot to each other, but you guess it's been a while and Kariko is probably happy here too, right? She shrugs and makes a gesture, even you know, mixed bag, right? Kariko, honk. Yeah. Does she know where the church is? Kariko tries to sign something to you, but it's too fast to interpret and you really don't know any ASL. Unlike written Alternian, this doesn't seem to be something you can just understand. Maybe there's some commentary to be had there about how the Alternian sign language didn't exist inside of the confines of canon, and is therefore outside of your ability to naturally understand. But that raises some rather disturbing questions about your own agency and Kariko. Honk. Kariko sighs in frustration, but then her face lights up as if she's just remembered something important. She mimes opening a can of soda and then drinking it. After she finishes pretend swallowing, she holds her hands up to her eyes like binoculars. Kariko. Honk. Oh, okay, you think you get it? She wants you to look around using the Fago. That makes sense, at least from a purely mechanical standpoint. Kariko. Never mind. Kariko. Kariko looks around for a second and grabs a flyer off of a wall. It's a flyer for the traveling circus. She points at the caravan and the tent on the paper, gesturing emphatically. Maybe there will be a clue at the circus tent. You should keep looking around for more. You think Marvis is hiding something, Kariko? Kariko turns her head to the side and makes an expression of exaggerated confusion. You get it well enough. What could Marvis possibly be hiding? Kariko. Honk. Well, for one thing, he didn't exactly seem surprised to see you. In fact, he seemed to be expecting you, as if he's been waiting for you to get here all along. That sense of purpose is a little bit unnerving. Kariko. Kariko gestures in a way that you can't quite follow, not really asking you a question, you don't think? More like she's agreeing with you. Kariko. Honk. She grins and nods. Okay, yeah, well, you're trying to figure this one out. This whole place is all kinds of confusing. You feel like at any moment you're at the risk of losing your mind. Location.
Okay, I will do that after I've explored all the different locations.
Location.
The tower.
Weirdly enough, the carousel seems to have completely faded from view. In its place, you see only a massive helter-skelter, tall and imposing, looming over the surrounding attractions. Weirdly, its once bright colors have faded to a sickly gray, and the chipped paint peels away from its rickety frame. The tower groans and creaks under the weight of its existence. Above it all, the purple sun shines down, somehow unceasingly beautiful and unerringly merciless at the same time. The low drone that's been following you around the fairgrounds has risen to an unearthly dirge. You want to go home more than anything right now. Location.
Save scum.
Save.
Let's make sure
Location.
I don't do something stupid.
Location. Weirdly enough, the helter-skelter looks a lot like a lighthouse. You don't know if that's anything yet, but it definitely feels like something. Location.
Okay, is that the only thing to
Tower.
look at here? Oh, there we
The
go.
last time you saw something like this, it was a different color and giving you some incredibly gnarly superpowers. Man, you really miss your powers right now. You feel like this whole exercise would be a lot easier with powers. Location.
Okay, anything
Location.
else?
Location. Location. Circus tent. The enormous circus tent stands tall, with its peak top towering over the surrounding area. The exterior is painted with bold, vibrant colors, but upon closer inspection, or a sip of red pop, you can see that the paint is chipped and peeling, revealing the worn fabric beneath. As you enter the tent, you are again greeted with a sight that seems out of place for a circus. The seating is arranged in rows like that of a church, with the central aisle leading to a raised platform at the front of the tent. It's a strange, unsettling space that seems to defy categorization. The stale air is thick with the scent of cannon smoke and sweat, and the general feeling of unease is palpable. Location. Location. The ring is full of random objects that look like they were probably part of a performance at some point. Actually, it looks like most of the items there are for some kind of lion tamer act. Oh shit, you really hope there aren't any tigers here too. Location. Sir. The seats themselves are threadbare and stained, with an overpowering odor of spoiled food emanating from the ground beneath them. It's a strange, unsettling space that seems to defy categorization. The church-like seating arrangement adds an uneasy quality to the already spooky atmosphere, and the scorch marks on the props hint at the danger that lurks within. Location. There's a heavy tarp over the entrance now, but it looks like this was once where the performers would enter the stage. Looking up, the trapeze and other aerial props hang from the ceiling, marred by scorch marks and burn scars, a testament to the danger of the circus acts performed within the tent. Weird, you can see the stars above, and you almost feel like you know the constellations.
Ooh, cool.
The architect. He is responsible for all of this, orchestrating everything.
It's Doc Scratch.
The collaborators. Stronger together than they ever were apart, willing to face death itself.
Yeah, that's blanking on their names, but yeah, the one with a void rot, and yeah, the other one.
The matriarch. Always there to care for those under her charge, always ready to turn in the direction of the heart. The diplomat. Trying to avoid taking sides in this conflict, he finds himself swept under. The Reaper. Forced into a role she never wanted, turning around into something she never imagined.
Okay.
The collaborators.
Or it doesn't actually give us a check mark on this one.
Location.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to save,
Saves. Close.
and I'm going to use the bottle, and I want to see what happens if it gets to the
Take
bottom.
a small sip out of the can of moon mist blue. The walls of the tent are made of a
See,
smooth, almost
it's
iridescent
still going through
material
the,
that shimmers in the half-light of the dream world, revealing an otherworldly beauty. All at once, you have the sense of seeing every color in the rainbow, and nothing but the endless expanse of the stars beyond. Past the large, arching doorway framed by glowing orbs at the entrance, the space inside is cavernous. The stage dominates the center, and all around it you can sense booths and attractions waiting in the endless shadowed space that stretches all around the tent. Location.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to let it keep going. There's got to be a...
Accessibility options, general, enable, accessibility options, general,
Low-end machine mode quirks.
accessibility options, general, accessibility options,
Reroute
accessibility options,
CW.
general, accessibility options, general,
Hit the
accessibility
key.
option, unlock bonus game, accessibility options.
What is the bonus
general,
game?
Accessibility options, general, normal, story only, easy, story only, story only. Easy,
Oh, let's see what easy
select,
does.
closed, location,
And we're almost to the bottom here.
the Dreamer's Circus. The center stage sits quiet.
Oh, I guess it doesn't really do anything. Maybe it's because I changed the... Okay. Some kind of puzzle. Did I click and drag these anywhere?
This whole thing is making your brain hurt too much. All the constant shifting one way and the other, pulling and pushing and going round and round, and honestly, it's too much. You need some time to think. You find yourself back on the midway, staring up into the starry night sky, listening to the sounds and taking in the smells of the place. Is this really that bad? Maybe it's not real in the conventional sense of the word, but what does that even mean in this day and age? Honestly, this is feeling a lot more real than anything else has lately. Maybe it would be better to just stay like this. You're starting to think Marvis was full of shit with his whole rebellion act. Right now, you don't care about rebellion, you just really want to ride the Ferris wheel.
Okay. So you get one of the endings if you do that.
The council will see you now. Try it.
Okay, so not here.
Location. Circus tent. Rundown caravans. The tower.
Yeah, let's try the tower.
Look.
Make sure the...
Accessibility options.
Yeah, let's turn it all the way down to story mode.
Save. Save slot. Location. Location.
Alright.
You take a small sip out of the can. In the glow of the moon mist, the carousel is a stunning sight, with intricate designs and vibrant shades of purple that catch the eye and strike your imagination. Each horse on the ride has been crafted with meticulous attention to detail, their manes and tails flowing in the breeze as they spin round and round. The golden poles supporting the ride shine brilliantly in the lights of the carnival, casting a warm glow over the entire area. And the music, oh, the music. It would definitely draw in anyone who passed by with its irresistible melody, psychic death tentacle or not. The whole experience is a marvel of engineering and artistry merged into one.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind that like a text-based game like that, putting a time limit on it, that especially when the time limit is running when the auto voicer is like reading off the text. I mean, it's time limits are fine. They can work in some places, but you gotta really watch it on. In my opinion, you gotta watch it on like text-based games like this, or games that are like made to be more like not time-based, I guess is the way to say. Whatever.
The lights on the carousel flicker, casting eerie shadows across the faces of the carved horses and creatures that adorned it. The horses' eyes gleam with an otherworldly glow, as if they're watching you with an unspoken warning. One horse in particular catches your attention. It's like its eyes were sculpted a little too low and drooping. Its brows lend it a sorrowful expression. Its mouth is meant to be open as if it were sounding of in a heroic manner. But on this horse, it looks like a scream. You are not, as these things go, a huge fan of that. The shadow of the helter-skelter rises above the carousel, and behind that, the purple sun shines, casting its pale light everywhere. Like this, the tower of the helter-skelter looks even more like a lighthouse.
Huh. Yeah, I can't even click on that.
Location. Dreamscape caravans. Out here behind the main carnival, the sounds of the midway have dropped down from maddening to merely slightly overwhelming. The lights are lower too, more of a subtle glow back here than the blasting omnipresence of the main area. You can still smell the wafting odors of manufactured popcorn and cotton candy, and the faint hint of what smells like wood smoke, coming from somewhere nearby. Location. It looks like this is the back of one of the caravans. You think, based on the size, that it might be Marvis? It's hard to keep track of where everything is when it shifts over to the dreamscape, and it seems like the layout only tenuously connects to real life. The doorway to the caravan appears to open up into what can only be described as the depths of space. You're pretty sure that can't possibly be real, but you feel like it would probably be better to keep your distance. Location. Off in the distance, you can see the silhouette of the main circus tent. The effect is an eerie one, the sense of a presence watching over you, judging you for being out here in the back, uninvited. You notice that the tent appears to be in pristine condition, even though from your experiences inside it, it is most certainly not. You can see the lights of the carnival attractions and rides, dominated by the shadow of the Ferris wheel that stands out against the horizon. The sight fills you with the strangest combination of warm nostalgia and cold, gut-wrenching terror. Location. Location.
Okay,
Marvis
Marvis's.
Caravan. Lo-
Okay, it
lo-
doesn't exist in the dreamscapes then.
Location. Marvis Caravan. Rundown caravans.
Oh, okay.
Locate.
Can I use the...
Location.
Oh, I can't
You
use
take a
the
small
blue
sip out of the
thing in the tree stump, but that'd be funny.
Location. The Dreamlit Carnival. This whole area looks like what a traveling circus would be if you were to dream about it. You're pretty sure you don't actually have childhood memories of anything, but if you did, this is what the ones of visiting the fair would look like. The lights and sounds and smells are overwhelming, the jangle of carnival games and the roar of rides and the scent of popcorn, burnt sugar, and frying food everywhere. The Ferris wheel is all lit up, but it still doesn't look like it's moving at all. Not only that, but you can't figure out how to get back there.
Oh, so you probably
Looks
need to
like
go to
there's
the
a
carnival and
and
then
some
drink
kind
the
of
pop.
cotton candy machine, you think? It smells great, but you get the feeling that trying to eat it would be a disappointing experience. The games look like so much fun, you want to take a couple minutes to play them, but you get the feeling that you shouldn't do that right now. Maybe in a little bit, once you've found your way to the church and talked to Chahan.
Anything else?
Location. Look, the carousel. Locate.
I already been
Okay.
here.
Location. The Dreamer's Circus. The Dream.
The Dreamer's Circus.
The
okay.
Dream. Look.
So I think yeah. This one's a weird one. Hey, like that. Hmm. Like that. I'm guessing that you're trying to recreate the placement of no. She was down here. The placement of them, but obviously they're not in exactly the right spots.
You take a small sip out of the can of Fago Red Pop and you can feel a sense of clarity returning.
Oh, what just happened? Oh, my PNG tuber program just crashed. Oh well, I'll just turn it off. Hello? Okay, I just blinded it. Should be off the thing now. Yeah, it's still showing the... Oh, there we go. Huh. Alright. So... Duck Scratch.
The Diplomat.
Yep. Then, okay, we
The
got...
Matriarch.
Oh, the rotation. So the matriarch is supposed to be kind of pointing left. This one, I think this one I've got right. This one is kind of... This one's weird because when you go in
Forced into a
here,
hole.
it's backwards.
The Matriarch. Always.
Okay, let's try this again. So, everything basically...
The diplomat.
Okay, so this one's backwards. You can tell because the outer legs are a little different. Okay. And this one's weird because it's a mirror image. This Pac-Man opens left. This thing points left. And this one, the 2 stars are on the right. This one, the shorter legs on the right.
You take a small sip.
Alright. So this one's correct. That one's correct. That one's correct.
As you stare
There we
up at
go.
the stars above you, you feel someone brush by you. You look down, hoping to see who dashed by, but it doesn't look like anyone is there, but you're holding a piece of paper you don't remember picking up. It looks like a flyer for some kind of clown religion thing, but the text doesn't make any sense. Words are doubled up or scrambled or have extra letters. You hold the flyer with all the cutout bits to the other flyer, and suddenly it all makes sense. The words left clearly spell out a location for the church, which doesn't seem to make any sense. This place can't be that big, and you looked everywhere to try to find the damn place, and oh, it looks like it's right over there, just past the midway. That was convenient. Wonder why you didn't notice it before. Best not to think too much about that part. Location. Location. The dreamer's circle.
Actually, never mind. 'Cause I want to try
Take a small sip out of the
going over to the carousel first.
location. Clown. Rundown caravan.
Uh,
The tower.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can't actually reach
Main field. Clown
the
church.
thing. Okay, yeah, clown church.
The church stands tall and imposing, with its walls made of dark stone and its roof adorned with twisted spires and gargoyles. The entrance is flanked by 2 massive statues of clowns, their painted faces frozen in twisted grins that send shivers down your spine. The interior looks dimly lit, with flickering candles casting eerie shadows on the walls. The pews are adorned with colorful ribbons and offerings, and strange symbols are etched into the floors and walls.
Gotta do a quick
Save-
save here.
The interior
Just in case.
The air is thick with the smell of incense and the sound of whispered prayers growing in intensity. You wonder briefly if one of the cans of Fago you're carrying will help your nerves, but you're shaking too much to even consider drinking one right now.
First things first, I'm gonna ease it back
Close.
down to
The air is
easy.
thick with the smell of incense, and through the door you hear a loud booming voice.
But fear not, for there is a way out of this darkness. It is through the path of duty and righteousness that we can find our way to salvation.
Duty.
Keep your head down, do what is right, and you will be rewarded in the end.
Kind of reminds me of a cleric I'm playing in a D&D game recently, where I'm literally using like one of those mega church preachers as my icon, just playing up the whole praise the gods sort of thing. Pretty fun. Anyway,
Step further inside, deeper inside the church you see a purple troll standing in front of an altar. Holding a baton, she takes a deep breath and breathes fire as she speaks. Despite your trembling, you're captivated.
This is our home! My dear brothers and sisters, I stand before you today to speak of a new truth. We have been blessed. We have been brought to this carnival, a new promised land, where we can start anew and build a new community together.
so this is not Chahut. Chahut's got like huge horns that kind of hang it down
We have
to
been
the
blessed.
sides.
We have been
So
brought to this
Think of
carnival.
it,
This is-
a new promised land.
I think
We have
Baisley
been given
and
a
Barzoom
Community together.
have like a
chance to escape the troubles and conflicts of our old home and start fresh in this new world.
Yeah, Barzum and Bailey, they have, oh, I just got it. Barnum and Bailey. Barzum and Baisley. Okay. Anyway. So, yeah, they've got these face masks or whatever, and that probably will be shown together. I have no idea who this is.
May not be what we expected or what we wanted, but it is a blessing nonetheless.
She takes another deep breath of the flames. How the heck is she doing that?
Some of you may be wondering why you were chosen to come here. Why you woke up in this strange new place. But let me tell you, my friends, that you are among the lucky ones. That you were chosen to come here. Maybe it was before your time, but it certainly was before you were consumed by chaos. The chaos is ingrained in our purple blood. We were saved. So let us not mourn what we have lost, but instead embrace what we have been given. Let us be thankful for our new home, this new chance at life.
I think this is a new artist. I don't think I've seen this exact kind of a art style on any of the other people with these really, really fine lines right here. Almost looks like they just used a really, really tiny stylus and just used something like that. But whatever, it's not bad.
Let us work together to create a new society, one that values equality for all. Let us make the most of this opportunity and create a new world that we can all be proud to call our own.
Once she finishes her sermon, the fire dissipates, and the troll stands at the altar, leaning up against it. You approach her, cautiously, hoping to get some answers. Location: Clown Church.
Okay, so we're still
Location.
doing this. Yep.
Next spot.
Save
Save.
schema.
Save.
Geez, I'm on page 40 of my save games.
Location. What is she doing?
Who are you? How did you find this place?
Well, see, you found this pamphlet and suddenly, you just kind of knew where it was. You had help though. Marvis gave you some soda. The troll is looking at you through narrowed eyes, her gaze even and cool. Did you say something wrong?
No, you most certainly did not. My brother's involvement in this is unexpected.
Trolls don't really. Maybe they mean like like religiously, like saying brother. But yeah, trolls don't really have like familial relations like that. I don't think. I think maybe Barzum and Baisley might be like an exception or something like that. But yeah, okay, whatever.
I thought he was done with that.
Done with what? She just kind of ignores you and continues.
My name is Aknai. I bid you welcome to our sanctuary, though it is unusual to see someone like yourself.
Okay, it's a brand new troll. There's the issue.
Oh yeah, she means your freakish, mutant appearance, right? Akne nods.
Indeed. To answer your earlier question, I was preaching, although my audience has been diminished as of late.
Yeah, Purple's telling to kill a lot of people, so that's probably where I went.
That's an understatement. There's basically no one here. You've only seen like 3 people so far. Fortunately, 2 of them were coincidentally friends of yours.
Coincidence is often a mask for deeper truth. But you are right. Our brothers, sisters, and other fellows have all gone away.
That's it for... You're looking for a troll named Chahad. Akne's face remains impassive, but you see something float behind her eyes, a faint twitch of her eyebrow.
What I really want to get out of this interaction is for her to actually say Chahut's name, like with a real voice-acted voice, so I can finally know how the hell I'm supposed to pronounce it.
She did not show up this morning.
Oh, come on.
She is not in her caravan. This is unusual.
Wait, is Chahat someone she knows well? See, you're friends with Chahat.
I am her mate sprint. Also, it is odd that she never mentioned someone with.
Ouch. Okay. That hurts your friend feelings a little bit, but you'll be okay. More importantly, does she have any idea where Chahat went?
I suspect her disappearance is connected to what happened to the others. Sadly, I do not have additional insight. I would suggest you make your inquiries elsewhere.
Okay, cool. You know when you're not wanted, sometimes. You'll look around once more.
I'm getting very much fan troll self-insert vibes here, but whatever.
Of course, the main problem with that is you have no idea where you're supposed to look or what you're even supposed to be looking for. Maybe you need to talk to Marvis again. It's so empty here. You know that the high bloods aren't as common, a disturbingly eugenics-themed line of inquiry you don't want to think about right now, but there should be dozens of them here, especially if younger trolls like Carico are included. Okay, Marvis isn't here. That's not a good sign. You haven't been able to find Carico either. You spend a half hour wandering the grounds, but you can't seem to find anyone else. Hockney is still there in the church, but you can't find Carico, Marvis, or any other purple bloods. Finally, you find yourself outside the helter-skelter again, outside the tower. You feel like there's something very important about that place, and you need to figure out what's going on. You need to find Marvis again and you need to get him to give you a straight answer. This is feeling more and more like one of those times you need to go around poking into everyone's stuff until the answers reveal themselves. Or, in other words, it's time to snoop. The helter-skelter looms up above you, crowned by the burning visage of the purple Sunday deep inside. You feel something come loose, like someone just pulled out the last strut that was keeping your mind propped up. It's hard to look away, the same way it was hard to look away when you saw the green sun. Of course, this is completely different from that experience, you're pretty sure, at least. Location.
Okay.
Locate.
We're back in investigation mode, so another
location. The door to the helter-skelter remains frustratingly locked. You get the feeling that this is going to be extremely important later. Location. You think that the purple sun is actually where that weird droning noise is coming from. It seems to get louder when you get closer to the helter-skelter. Location.
Okay, not much evidence.
Location. Rundown caravan. Rundown caravan.
I guess kind of re-explore everything.
Trailers and caravans that line the sides of the path, you can't help but notice that a lot of them appear to be completely empty. Layers of dust cover the windows everywhere. Something hits you that you've felt before, a sense of overwhelming, unsettling emptiness. The shivers that run up your neck when you walk into an abandoned building, knowing that there used to be people living there. You can't help but think of the dead buildings in the city, the barren streets of Alternia, the barracks with their empty bunks. Your hand strays to the kin of moon mist sitting in your hoodie's pocket. Location. Rundown.
Yeah, I'm gonna just look at everything normally, and then I'll
doesn't look like
go.
Any of these caravans is
Go
important
blue
enough
juice
to warrant
mode.
Further investigation. You wonder what it would have looked like here if it was full of purple bloods and they weren't being actively suppressed by the Empire and GL Galib. Locate. Given the blood around the door, you have a feeling that this caravan might belong to Chahat. Doesn't look like anyone's home though. You kind of want to check inside to see if there's any clue where she's gone, but something tells you that wouldn't be a great idea, and you feel like you've kind of run your bad idea tab up a little bit high already. Location.
Or they just didn't, bother to develop it.
It doesn't look like there's anything else important about the purple bus, even if it is very cool looking. Location. Marvis caravan lights are still on, but you can't hear or see any sign of him now. Location. Weird.
Let's try the tree
It
again.
looks like there's a hole in the base of the tree. Don't do. Look in the hole. It looks like a net. Too bad the opening is just slightly too small for you. Location.
That is going to be something important, I think.
Look, Marvis Caravan. As soon as you step back into Marvis Caravan, you feel your head spin a half turn, and suddenly you think you're gonna puke. Okay, false alarm on that one, at least. But you feel like the buzz of the Fago is definitely wearing off, and all you can see is the raw boards that make up the floors and walls of the caravan, and the pitted tin that makes up the roof. Marvis is nowhere to be seen. You wonder if maybe there's some clue around here about where he went. It looks like you can adjust the lights here by messing with the bulbs. Why would you want to mess with the lights and do that? You don't know, you just do stuff sometimes. It usually works out, okay. Sometimes. With the lights adjusted, you can just barely make out something hidden behind a piece of loose glass on the mirror. Carefully, you pry the piece loose and retrieve the card from underneath. Weird, it looks like a small business card or something, but you can't read the text on here at all. Location. Cloud. Selected.
Huh.
A cursory glance at the shelves is enough to tell you that nothing here is going to be especially useful. Maybe if you had some kind of puzzle where you needed to construct a fake mustache using glue and cat hair, you could use some of the spirit gum. But where would you even find a cat in place like this? That's a ridiculous thought to begin with. How would such an improbable situation even come up? Location. You don't know, you've never really thought of yourself as a hat person, but maybe that's worth reconsidering. Maybe it's not so much that you're not a hat person in some intrinsic way, but that you haven't found the right hat to match your whole vibe. That's it. When you get back home, you're going to conduct some more research on hats. As appealing as the prospect of trying on some very cool clothes while Marvis is out is, you probably shouldn't mess with his stuff too much. The collection of wigs, feather boas, and fake horns is enticing, but you don't have time to play around with any of that right now. You've got friends to find. Location. Location.
So we should have gotten some evidence off of that.
Cloud. Selected. Locate. Rundown.
Okay, already did this.
Location. Main. You don't see Kariko anywhere around now. There isn't a trace of where she went. You're trying hard not to panic. After all, this is her home. Except that something about this place feels completely off all of the time. And without Marvis or Kariko or anyone to help keep your focus, you're feeling extremely alone and vulnerable. You spend a few minutes searching through the stage area, but you can't seem to see anything interesting or out of place. Location. You can't tell if this tent is in the process of being set up or broken down. You guess it doesn't really matter all that much, no one is around to do either. Now that you look at it more closely, you're not sure that this is a tilt-a-whirl. You think it's a scrambler? Is that what that's called? Either way, you're pretty sure it's not working right now. Location. Main field. Location. It doesn't look like the Ferris wheel has worked in a long time, if ever. Which is too bad, because you bet you'd have a great view of the carnival from up there. You really want to play the games. You feel that this is, for some reason, absolutely necessary to your progression. But you can't play the games like this, they're not even working. Locate. Locate.
Okay, enough right there.
Location. Marvin. The tower.
Already
Circus
did the
tent.
tower.
Standing inside the half-ruined circus without the Fago glow, to mute reality, you're struck by just how quiet it is here. With no wind, the tatters of the tent hang in silent reflection, dangling down like forgotten cobwebs, and all of a sudden, you're struck by the profound loneliness of what this place represents. You're not going to pretend you know a ton about the culture of the Purples, but you know that this place is important to them. It deserves better than to simply be allowed to rot. Well, you think it is? Maybe. You can't help but wonder how much of this place is genuine and how much is the Empire's warped interpretation. Did Marvis ever perform in this ring? You guess he probably did. Maybe it got broadcast to Alternians everywhere on GrubTube, or, what would Netflix be on Alternia? Grubflix. Whatever, it's not important. Location. Circus tent.
Oh, it's very important.
Now that you've actually been to the clown church, you feel like the whole church analogy might be a little bit weak, but it still feels a little weird to have the seats along one side instead of being in the round like most circuses. Or maybe Alternian circuses are just like this. You're not actually sure, you don't think you've been to one. Are those real troll horns up above the entrance? They look too big for that, but maybe they're from an especially gigantic troll. You can still see the constellations above, but they don't feel like they mean anything anymore. Just some pretty stars. Are those stars actually out there, beyond some dome on the spirulina, or are they a projection like the clouds and everything else, designed to create the illusion of being outside? Location. Location. Clown church. Standing in the middle of the clown sanctuary, you feel a little tingly. Like you're standing in a deeply unfamiliar place. Come to think of it, you're not sure you've been in a regular church, or synagogue, or mosque, or whatever weird shit the Mormons have going on. The vibes are pretty similar to Chahat's church back on Alternia. In fact, you're pretty sure the layout is almost identical. There's probably a reason for that, but your current sample size is 2, so you're not really in a place to guess why. The seating here is pretty basic, just a bunch of simple wooden chairs set up facing the altar. Looks like they could be easily moved around. You wonder if they do, like, weddings here. What would a troll wedding look like, anyway? You wish that the whole Delora hate wedding hadn't devolved into a murder, or, you guess, not murder, mystery. You were actually looking forward to seeing what was going on with that.
Typo, should be Gajora. Whatever.
The altar is covered in splattered blood and features a prominent skull. You gotta have a skull, after all. Above it all, there's a large painting of a troll you definitely recognize, the Grand High Blood. You wonder if he's still kicking around somewhere. Location. Clown. Location. You're not really sure what the abstract patterns in the stained glass are supposed to be, if anything. You get some eye vibes from them, along with planets, maybe. Whatever the case, they're really pretty.
Okay.
Locate.
First I'm going to change it back to story mode, because I'm going to go blue juice mode. Oh wait, I can talk too.
Save, close.
And I can't go blue mode and blue juice mode in here.
You never got to introduce yourself properly. See, you're a kind of pan-dimensional being, probably at least nominally from Earth. That's a planet that's kind of like Alternia but actually not in any way like Alternia. Also, you're from another dimension. Does she want to be your friend? Still got it?
I must decline. I'm trying not to worry about my mate sprint.
Why doesn't she just go look for Chahat?
You do not understand. This place is remarkably inconstant. Just look around at how it swirls and broils under the light of the Fago haze, or how it rots beneath us when the haze wears off.
She has no idea where the others went. Akne looks you up and down slowly, as if she's trying to decide whether or not to trust you with this information.
I have my theories, little one. Sadly, this is all they are at the present.
Is she willing to share any of those theories with you?
I would prefer not. There are things here that watch, listen, speak.
You glance around nervously and it feels like the temperature has dropped noticeably. Is she worried about Chahat specifically?
I am confident that my matesprit has the ability to take care of herself. She is well known for that capacity.
What does she think about Marvis?
That is a complex question. I'm unsure that you have the time for the full answer.
You're willing to accept the short version. You hate to admit it, but Marvis is one of your friends you know the least well.
I suspect that is, at least in part, by his own design. Marvis values his secrets, for good or for bad. Not to imply that I believe he is malicious.
But something in her body language bristles while she talks about him.
Do not misunderstand. My discomfort is largely a personal one. Marvis was at odds with my matespring for some theological questions. The specifics are esoteric, but the basic point of the disagreement has to do with Glibgalib's exact nature, or rather, its potential for malice.
Oh, that sounds complicated. Does that mean Chahat and Marvis aren't getting along? Akne laughs.
Oh, you wink. If our beliefs were so paper-thin as to disallow such a disagreement, they would have never survived the rain for a week, much less 1,000 of them.
She cares a lot about Chahat, doesn't she?
Obviously. She is my matesprit.
Given how much Akne had to say about basically everything else, this is a surprisingly terse answer.
I have no desire to showcase my feelings for the entertainment of a stranger.
Okay, ouch, that one hurt a little bit.
I do not care. But yes, I care deeply about Chahut. Do not mistake my assurance of her safety for apathy or lack of concern.
Finally! Chahut! Alright, I was close all along, but now it has been, confirmed. Well, as confirmed as this game, which is basically fanfic, can confirm it. So, there we go.
But how long has she been here for?
Since the last Jubilee. About a week now, I believe. I came in with the last group, along with Chahut and Marvis.
You're still a little bit confused about that. Why don't the Purple Bloods go off-world at 10 sweeps like everyone else? When you met Chahat, she seemed pretty sure she was going off-world.
She likely had a sense that our time was coming. That the call would go out and any of us the Empire considers of age would be taken.
Even Kariko. She's, like, 5 sweeps old or something.
Some of us are expected to grow older sooner than others. This has been the way here in the Empire for quite some time now.
Nice, blood. Akne seems to be deciding how sincere this comment was.
I take it you do not understand the significance.
You shake your head.
The blood that flows through all of us. The sacred substance that binds us and divides us all the same. Having our blood splattered here on equal display. That is a mark of the most divine truth of them all. That deep down, we are all essentially the same. Differing only by a few trace minerals in our blood.
Well, you wonder if the people whose blood it actually is might have something to say about that. Akne actually laughs at you.
Where do you think our blood comes from? Did you not arise from the very belly of this place? From the guts that churn out every divine substance?
You're very interested in the clown religion. You're going to be straight with her. You've gotten a lot of contradictory and often confusing information about it. but it still fascinates you.
I think they are probably going to use this opportunity to kind of maybe downplay a lot of the nastier bits of the whole clown religion thing. Because I remember back in Friendsim 1, like there's a path you could take where the main character literally just like walks away from childhood because she and Amicia like go out basically just to like capture people to farm them for their blood, and he's just like, "Yep, don't want a part of this." So they're probably gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's all like peace and love, blood. Yeah, nothing too objectionable there." It does seem like the Friendsim 2 writers are definitely for kind of toning down a lot of the Alternian violence and whatnot. But let's see if I'm right.
Perhaps I can educate you further when the situation is more amenable.
Or they could just kick the can down the road.
It is possible for an outsider to be part of our community. Although it entails a willingness to learn and a fair deal of commitment.
You're not sure that you want to do all of that, but you appreciate the offer all the same. Akne smiles at you and shrugs.
We are all the children of the mirthful Messiahs. It would be a sin to turn away a child for their lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Location.
Okay. Another save scum here.
Location.
No, okay. Start from the circus tent.
Locate.
And I have it set to story only. Good.
You take a small sip out of the can of moon mist blue fago and the world swims around you. Even knowing what lies underneath, you can't help but be a little awestruck at how the big top looks. The multicolored lights and the way that the stars seem to hang in mid-air are almost hypnotizing. You can only imagine what the experience would be like with the seats packed and Marvis up on stage addressing the crowd. Even the idea is enough to bring tears to your eyes. You feel like you can see the slimmest glimpse of what helps bind the purples together, and you think you have an idea of what the Empire is afraid of. Location. Now this is the kind of stage you can imagine Marvis performing on. You don't think that it's possible to broadcast the dreamscape though. That feels like it breaks several laws of physics, even under the admittedly loose interpretation they work under here. Location. The ghostly images that were floating in the rings before are gone now, leaving only the shadows of the upper reaches of the circus tent. Location.
Yeah, anything else?
Location.
Nope.
Clown shirt.
Okay, and that automatically undoes
the top. Location.
the juice.
You take a small sip out of. Now that you've had a chance to acclimate a little bit to how things really are, it's hard not to see the way that the tower juts out from above the carousel, twisting up into the sky in a way that feels almost impossible. The music that plays from the carousel is a discordant tune, sounding almost like the shrieking of tortured souls. It echoes through the air, sending shivers down your spine. Even the sweet taste of the fago can't erase the feeling of unease that settles over you. It's as if the darkness of the purple sun had seeped into the very bones of the carousel. Location. You feel uneasy looking at the carousel. There's nothing inherently sinister about the carved horses and their colorful livery, but you find it unsettling all the same. Even in the dream, the tower and the sun are there, one piece of constancy in this ever-shifting labyrinth of the mind. Location. Location.
Okay.
The Dreamer's Circus. The Dreamlit Carnival. Now that you're starting to get used to what the carnival looks like in the glow of the moon mist, you're starting to actually pay attention to everything lining the midway. Even though everything has a strangely ethereal quality to it, there's one thing that really stands out, calls to you, almost. Tucked off to the side is a game with Garden of Tubby Cat written in pink neon below it. Well, It probably wouldn't hurt to play just one game.
I'm gonna save here
Save
just in case I get the person in the game might, have some
Here in the
fail
dreamscape,
state or
the
something.
Ferris wheel definitely looks a lot more functional, but you suspect it's just as much of an illusion as anything else here. Location. Despite the advertisement of tickets, you don't think there's anyone there to vend tickets, or anyone to take said tickets. Location. You've managed to resist the call of the game's glittering lights and loud, repetitive noises so far, but you don't think you can anymore. After all, what's one game? Maybe you could win valuable prizes. You think you see a limited edition Bubsy the Bobcat plush up there. Your score 0000000. I score 0500.
Okay, yeah.
Self-voicing disabled.
Turn that off. Let's see. You beat your high score. Time to reap your sweet, sweet rewards.
Self-voicing enabled. You hear a loud click from the game stand, like it's trying to dispense a ticket, but nothing seems to come out. Plus it looks like the game is out of order now, and that's not a Bubsy the Bobcat, it's just a cheap Cubsy the Caracal. What a rip-off. Look,
Okay, that was it?
look,
Okay. You get any
Location.
evidence? No.
location. The carousel. Dreamscape Caravan. The cool nighttime mist teases your ankles as you walk along the neatly carved path along the brightly colored caravans. In the distance, you can hear the muted sound of music drifting over the tent of the big top and the facades of the midway. Even knowing full well how unreal this is, you see the beauty in it. But deep inside all of it, you feel the same thing you've felt this whole journey, a deep, abiding sense of disconnection that you've come to associate with Alternia. Because here, no one gets to be a part of anything, your friends exist as islands in the isolation of Alternian society. But maybe, that can change. Maybe there's another way for Alternia to exist. Your hand strays to the can of Fago Red Pop in your hoodie's pocket. It's still basically impossible to figure out what actual, physical structure this corresponds to. You're not even sure how the dreamscape works, exactly. Like, are you actually interacting with these environments? Are you just kind of playing with rocks and sticks and stuff? Just trying to think about it makes you dizzy. As cool as this is, you don't think you should try to do something like, say, stick your head in. Your track record with the infinite void of space is, let's call it a mixed bag. It feels like the carnival attractions are calling to you, luring you in with their promise of exciting times and awesome prizes.
See, that tells me I need to go back there and win more prizes.
Location. Looking up above the tent, you can kind of see the shapes in the stars from before. They don't seem to have the same inherent meaning though. Location. Location. Look, the carousel. Look, the Dreamlit Carnival. Locate.
Am I missing something?
Locate. The carousel. The dream. Location. Location.
Okay,
Location.
let's
Dreamscape Marvis.
take the easy way to get out of dream mode.
Location.
So I feel like that sheet of paper we got here should have been added to the evidence.
Location. Selected.
But what's
Location.
this?
Marvis Caravan. Select.
I don't know if it's a glitch that is stopping me.
Locate. Main field. Clown shirt. Location.
Okay, can't
Actual. Run. Location.
clown church it anymore.
Location. 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 Main.
Ooh, what is this?
Okay,
This is new.
this definitely wasn't here before. You reach down and pick up the card. Weird. You can't seem to read what's written on it at all. You stare down at the twin cards in your hands, trying to decipher exactly what the garbled writing means. The closer you look, the more your head hurts. Suddenly, the two cards seem to kind of phase into each other. Probably not super normal behavior for physical objects to do that, but you're so far past caring about what's normal here. You still can't make heads nor tails of the writing, but somehow you kind of get the sense what it means. An address in a place with no street signs and nary a trace of the comforting sight of your beloved postal service boxes. You know where to go. You're almost there, just a little bit past the caravans, out in the wilderness. Your head is aching from Fago withdrawal, you guess? You consider taking another swig, but somehow you think it's important to be stone cold sober for this one. It feels weird to think of this as walking out into the wilderness, but it's the word that sticks in your mind. As soon as you see the mansion clock,
Okay, here we'll meet
crest of the
Barzum
hill,
and
you
Baisley.
stop in your tracks. Your mind goes two places at once, back to another time you were hanging out with Purple Bloods in a decrepit mansion, and to another mansion you've been in much more recently. Kariko, honk. You didn't even notice Kariko walk up next to you. Where has she been? She glances up at the mansion over the hill. On your other side, you hear a twig snap and turn quickly to see Marvis standing there, leaning against his cane. Does he happen to know more about this incredibly creepy, probably supernatural mansion? Marvis winks and takes a step forward, holding his cane up to point at the mansion.
Buddy, this is the second longest place to ever fucking exist. Second only to the OG.
The odd
Place this place was based on. The motherfucking shadow that falls over all of us. Best we be heading inside now.
It doesn't seem safe.
Ain't safe. No place is.
Kariko. Honk. You notice that Kariko has just been standing here, staring at the mansion while Marvis was talking. She looks, you don't think frightened is the word for it. More like concerned. Kariko. Kariko nods and signs something that pretty clearly agrees with your assessment. But she's going to go inside all the same, isn't she? Kariko, honk. There's no hesitation in her. Kariko steps forward on the path, walking toward the mansion. And now you're alone, standing in the shadow. Taking a deep breath and steadying yourself, you walk up the path. The cold seeps into you as soon as you step across the foyer, creeping up into your very bones. There's something deeply familiar about this hallway. Something deeply unsettling. Behind you, the door slams into place. You run over to check it, but there's no way that door is budging. Turning back to the hallway, you look down it and everything swims around your head. The hallway extends and stretches up above you, tapering out into the utter blackness of the deep void. You call out down the hall, hoping that Marvis and Kariko haven't gone too far yet. Is anyone there?
Oh shit! Is that who I think it is? I don't know. Why would they be here? Who cares? If they're here to play with us again, what does it matter? Because it's probably just another trick.
You're not even surprised when they appear in front of you. The gang's almost all here, after all.
We're not a gang. Just the two of us, just like before.
But they must have seen Marvis and Kariko come in, right? It was just a minute ago.
Oh, we haven't seen them in a long time. Just Jahat. She's in the library. She never wants to play with us though. Just obsessing over her books. At least it's pretty here. We don't like it. It's cold all the time.
So, this is going to sound weird, but you kind of need to get everyone together and talk about some stuff.
Oh, we love talking about stuff. One of our favorite things to do. We're happy to hear you out, if you want. But we don't know where anyone else is. Like we said, it can't be helped.
The twins disappear into the depths of the mansion. Like, they're just kind of gone all of a sudden. Why can't you just have a normal time with them? Location.
Save
slot.
Scammy.
Closed.
Okay.
The walls are lined with curtains that respeckled with flecks of light, almost like stars. Beyond the curtains, everything fades into a blue-black haze. The floor of the hallway looks reflective at first glance, like the highly polished floor of a ballroom at an upscale hotel. Looking at it closer, there's an inconsistency between what you can see in the floor and the room above it, and you realize that you're not seeing a reflection, but looking down into an unending void of stars and gauzy streaks of light. Location. The ceiling extends so far upwards that it's lost in darkness. Not stars, like some of the other dreamscapes, but full on dead black. Looking at it makes you uncomfortable. The window up above looks like something out of a church in an anime. Pale moonlight streams down into the hallway, casting a spotlight on the floor below. Location. Location.
Okay.
Location. Library. The red
Let's
room.
start with the red room because we'll find Charlotte in the library.
The Fago, the
This is
bedroom
best for
looks
last.
richly appointed, but everything is proportioned and angled all wrong. Is that lamp sideways?
We've tried everything, but nothing works. What we're saying is we're fucking stuck. It's not funny. But what else can we do right now?
Wait, wasn't Arzum the loud, excited one before? Oh, right. This was their thing. You forgot.
If you find a way out, you have to tell us.
Oh yeah, and they switched sides too.
Something about the look of the lamp reminds you of a lava lamp, the way it casts a subtle red glow and almost seems to flow, like a liquid. Also, it's sideways, which is extremely atypical for lamps. The paintings are abstract, swirls and swipes of color that seem to shift even as you look at them. The frames themselves hang in mid-air, suspended by nothing. Location. The bed looks comfortable, but all of its angles are wrong. When you put your hand on it, it feels soft, too soft, actually. You think that if you lie down on the bed, you probably won't be getting up again. Look. You want to go check the dresser to see if there's anything useful in it, but you can't seem to get close to it. Every time you move back towards that part of the room, it extends away from you. Eventually you just give up. It was probably just full of junk and sour grapes anyway. Location. The location.
Let's see here.
The red room. Location.
Okay.
How long have they been stuck here?
For fucking ever. We came in here a few cycles ago. The mansion just kind of appeared.
Is that a normal thing? For things to just appear out of nowhere? The twins shrug, and Baisley cackles.
Happens sometimes. Weird shit just kind of happens to us. We figured it was just the same as the carnival. All smoke and mirrors. And we fucking love smoke and mirrors.
Did Chahat come in here looking for them, then?
We think she probably did. But she's stuck in here, just like us. Ha! She's silly. She thinks she can either kill or study her way out of everything. It's not working, anyway. She's trapped in the library.
Wait a second. How can they move between the rooms so freely?
We don't fucking know. Maybe because this is like the mansion you were trapped in that one time.
They remember that?
Yeah, no shit. Stuck in a stupid fucking mansion with a stupid fucking alien.
The stupid fucking alien being.
Yeah, that was what we were implying.
Great. Have they seen anyone else?
Just Chahat. She's so fucking boring right now. Usually she's more fun. Right now she seems focused on trying to figure something out in the library. Not like she's got any other choice. Yeah, she's stuck in there.
So, they haven't seen Karako or Marvis. The twins glance at each other and shake their heads.
Nope, not them either.
You're getting the sense that here in the mansion, the dreamscape, and the real world are even more separated than out in the carnival.
We don't know shit about that.
What do they think about GL Galib?
What do you mean by that? That's such a vague thing to ask. Are you always like this?
Well, yeah, you kinda area. You're just wondering, you seem to be hearing a lot of contradictory things about GL Galib. Not just here, but all over the place. It's an eldritch being from beyond the stars, but also it's Fiberes Lucis. It eats trolls, maybe. You were never super clear on exactly what was going on with that vast glove. Is any of this ringing any bells for them?
We don't know much about Glib, but we do know that the tentacle whispers to us sometimes. Who the fuck is Feferi?
Okay, some of that feels like important new information. What does it tell them?
It's hard to understand, and it gets louder if we get closer to the tower in the center of the carnival.
The helter-skelter by the dream carousel? Yeah, you kinda got the sense that was important, what with the giant glowing purple sun and all. Speaking of that, what's that about?
We don't fucking know! There's a lot around here that doesn't make sense to us. You assume we just know everything about every mysterious thing?
You'd prefer not to answer that question, on the grounds that it might make you look kind of like an insensitive asshole. 1. Are they part of the clown church?
We don't know! Are you?
You're pretty sure you're not. 1.
It's not a simple answer, is what we mean.
Okay, because that's not at all what Baisley said. Like, not even a little bit. 1.
We don't owe you an explanation! We were born into the church in the same way any purple is. But we don't, go to church. That's stupid. We don't really think about it much. We guess?
You think that's fine. You're not sure how you feel about all the clown stuff either. Mostly it just confuses you. 1.
Have you considered that that's because you're kind of an idiot?
Hey. 1. Location.
Alright, let's see what this
Self-voicing
thing
disabled.
is. Chixie. Managers take another 30% off at least. Okay. Sure.
Self-voicing in a location.
Alright.
Library
Library
of Stars.
stars.
In the Fago dreamscape, the library seems impossibly long and slightly intangible. The center of the room is dominated by a strangely shaded pool of liquid, and the sky above opens up into unfamiliar stars. Books line the shelves in neat rows, but most of them seem to be missing titles. Behind you, someone stirs.
Child,
Woohoo!
you're
Finally,
far
Chahoot.
from home.
You turn around and grin at Chahat. Hey. Long time, no see. She might not remember you.
Well, I remember. You appeared before me as a supplicant, a seeker of righteous knowledge for our messiahs.
Hey, she does remember. That's great. She's not, mad or anything, is she? Your track record with old friends has been kinda mixed so far. Chahat laughs.
My sweet child. If I were mad at you, you would already be dead.
Chahat stretches to her full height, grins at you, and walks over to lean up against one of the shelves. She seems to be checking some of the books.
Alright, save the
Save.
Camus.
Saves. Claude.
Let's see here.
The books are pristine here, glossy volumes full of history. These are accounts of the early empire as told from the perspective of the Condis and those who supported her. Look, you can't make out all the titles, but from what you can see, It looks like the upper shelves contain a lot of collections of stories and fables. You get the feeling that if you were to look through them, you'd find a lot of glowing praise for the Hemaspectrum and the Empire. Location. Location. The center of the room has a pool, you guess? Whatever it is, a bunch of tables sink down below the surface, fading into the murky depths of whatever liquid it is. Location. These leather-bound tomes appear to be full of rituals important to the clown religion, but there's something off about them. It's like they're missing some key parts, and the focus on the Grand High Blood and the Empress is hard to ignore. Location.
Okay.
What's she doing
Contemplating the ever-shifting mysteries that our glorious messiahs have put before me. Giving thanks for the night that brought me to this twilight repository of our people's fragmented knowledge.
She's stuck here, isn't she?
Yes, child. I am stuck. The Merfolk ones have failed to illuminate a path forward, though they have provided sustenance for nights now. So I pore over these holy texts and slowly lose my faith in that grand plan.
Maybe you can help somehow. You're at least occasionally good at that.
My once aspirant sibling? You're really fucking not.
Oh, sorry.
We weren't made to be equals in ability, child. It's not the way of things. Deep in your pusher, you know you have a role to play too.
Has she talked to any of the others? You ran into the Soliles earlier and they mentioned Chahut specifically. At least she's seen them, right?
I saw them, but they seemed disinterested in partaking in the joys of study.
Chahut is gritting her teeth. You can't help but wonder if maybe she's feeling frustrated by what's happening here?
Normally, I would be overjoyed. The opportunity to peruse the holy text of my ancestors. But now I feel like I'm trapped in a motherfucking maze. The books offer no salvation.
She hasn't spoken to Marvis or anyone else.
No, child. I know you're a bit soft in the pan, but I feel like I just explained this.
She sighs heavily.
A pity. In other circumstances, this would bring me such joy.
You talked to her mate Spree. You talked to Akne before you came here. She seems pretty confident that Chahut will be okay.
That's my girl. She trusts me as much as I trust her.
Which is a lot.
Yes, child. Obviously. I've seen wigglers fail less at context clues. Does she have plans to come after me?
You don't think that she does. You're pretty sure Akne doesn't even know exactly how to get here.
That makes sense. This is a cursed place. I don't feel the light of the mirthful ones here. Only a shadow copy of it. As if someone was trying to conceal something from me.
Chahut looks around the library and frowns deeply.
If only my girl Amicia were here, she'd know what to do.
So, about that. Holy texts? She mentioned holy texts of some kind?
Yes. What do you think this library was for, child?
You shrugged. You hadn't thought about it much.
Clearly. There's knowledge here, little one. So much knowledge. Sadly, incomplete knowledge right now.
What knowledge does she mean, exactly? And what's missing?
Child, your mind couldn't fully understand. Knowledge of our people's history, of the story of our oppression, the nature of Glib itself. As to what's missing, there are several key volumes I need. Look for them everywhere, but they are elusive motherfuckers.
You think Marvis has a plan. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you think Marvis is planning something. He keeps things pretty close to his massive chest, though.
Of course he has a plan.
Chahut rolls her eyes. You're sensing that this is a sore subject.
It doesn't concern you. You need not worry about it. Brother Marvis and I had some disagreements recently.
It strikes you as unnecessarily formal to call him that. Again, probably reinforcing the whole they're not getting along thing. What kind of disagreements?
It's complicated, child. I doubt you have the head for it.
She should try you. You have a remarkable ability to hold an absolutely ridiculous amount of trivia inside your brain. Chahat seems to consider this for a minute before she nods thoughtfully.
Perhaps. What do you know about the nature of the being who made this place?
Does she mean GL Galib? Chahat nods.
A singular projection of an unimaginably vast whole. Marvis believes that we can speak to it directly.
And she disagrees with that.
No more than you could commune with the scuttlebug, little one. But the texts of the Mirthful One speak to the true nature of this being. I've seen glimpses of it, but not the whole. If I had the missing text...
She sighs and shrugs.
It's nothing, little one. Not your concern.
About the missing books. Why can't she find the books? Is this a normal reason, or one of those vaguely supernatural reasons you're becoming all too familiar with?
I can't leave this motherfucking room.
You look around for the way you came in, about to point it out, but it looks like it isn't there. You've got no idea how you got here, but you seem to be able to move freely inside the mansion, at least. Maybe you could help find her books. Chahat looks you up and down slowly, not a hard feat, considering you're like a third of her height.
Perhaps. Your short stature and tiny arms will allow you to search every crevice of this place.
Is she messing with you?
I would never mock the gifts the Messiah saw fit to grant you.
So,
Yes, little one. That would be appreciated. 7 of the books are gone from my side. Become my righteous hierophant and bring them to me.
you talked to Amesia. Actually, you talked to Amesia not that long ago, back on Alternia.
Oh? Then how is the little Terra doing?
Actually, it's he now.
Oh.
Chahat stops for a minute, as if she's processing this.
Well, I hope my little brother is doing well. I wish you were here. Motherfucker always inspired me.
You think he's doing okay? Actually, he's planning to leave Alternia. More specifically, leave the entire dimension in which Alternia resides. With you, Chahat seems less surprised by this than you'd imagine.
Child, I've seen so many things in my life. You think you're the only interdimensional being I made the acquaintance of?
Chahat refuses to expand on her utter lack of surprise, but you guess when you've been exposed to enough weird stuff it all just kind of blends together.
Okay, let's see here.
Location.
Okay,
Quit. Save. Saves.
time to
Save.
quick
Close.
save. Any
Location.
no new location, so it's time to juice up.
You take a small sip out of the can of Fago Red Pop and you can feel a sense of clarity returning. The odor of mildew and rot permeates your nostrils, reminding you vaguely of the smell of the abandoned mall you visited with Daria once. The books on the shelves range in condition from some with water damage to absolutely unsalvageable, heaped onto decaying shelves and piled onto the moldering carpet.
If it isn't the being of the owl themselves.
Oh shit, you didn't see Marvis before. Has he had a chance to talk to any of the others?
No, I haven't been able to find a way out of the library.
You look around the room and, you're not actually sure how you managed to get in.
Shit, you ain't playing by the same rules as us. It's all good. Got a lot to fucking read.
Marvis laughs and walks over to one of the shelves, thumbing through some of the books. Location. Look. Most of the books here look like they've been heavily censored. Huge chunks are blacked out or torn away. The pieces that remain look like they discuss religious rituals. Location. The books in this section appear to be history books. You notice that large chunks of the text have been ripped out, especially in the sections that would address the early history of the clown religion. Location. Location. Rotting library. Location. Rotting library. You can't read the language that these books are written in, and they look ancient. They have a number of illustrations that make it look like they're books on clown mysticism. Location. These books have been blotted out and largely destroyed. It looks like they had a genealogy of the heiresses and empresses going back before the Condis. Location. Most of these books have been redacted, blotted out with ink so you can't read them. From context, it looks like it might have once been a list of important figures within the clown religion. This looks like a section of books that mostly contain stories and fables, some of which are lavishly illustrated. Pieces of the books have been burned away at some point. Location. This section contains books of religious rituals. Mostly, the books look more recent than some of the others, and they're largely still intact. Location. Location.
Okay, nothing on the floor looks interesting.
Rotting library.
Although these cracks in the floor looks like we might come back and find something.
He said this was the second wrongest place to ever exist, and that's got you more than a little bit nervous.
It should frighten the shit out of you, buddy. Meant every word.
But what even is this? It doesn't feel like it belongs here, not even by the logic of the Dream Carnival.
Cause it don't belong here, obviously. I'll have to figure that shit out. As to the precise story, I don't know everything. But this house is all haunted, buddy. And I ain't talking about ghosts. Don't forget it.
How much has he talked to the others?
Not since we got here. Doesn't help to be fucking trapped.
It seems like the Soliles are able to move around the mansion at least a little bit. You saw them in the entry hall, and they've been able to find Chahat.
Not a surprise. Those two always been different to the rest of us. Got something in common with you, I suspect.
Well, in that you're apparently able to move freely in this place too. You guess he's right.
You see the others? Tell them I got a plan.
You talked to Chahat.
How's the most righteous sister doing?
Well, she said that Marvis and her had a disagreement over something.
She thinks the mirthful ones passed down the real shit about Glibgalib. Answers to our problems. She doesn't think we can talk to the tentacle. Thinks it's a waste of our time.
You think maybe there's more to it?
She wants to send the motherfucking thing home. To banish it back to the void.
Isn't that a good thing?
Imagine God was sitting in your living room. Would you tell the motherfucker to go back where it came from?
You're not sure how to even answer that? You get the sense that the horror terrors have a pretty alien way of thinking, and maybe Chahat is right. Marvis scoffs.
Nah, that ain't it. Besides, how are we even supposed to know if we don't try?
How much? Has he seen any holy texts? You were talking to Chahat, and she mentioned needing to find some old books.
I see she got a similar plan to mine.
Yeah, you're not so sure about that. But a similar approach, at least.
Well,
maybe.
Just so happens I got one of the holy texts here. Had a feeling someone would be needing this.
Marvis walks to a nearby table and grabs a book. The cover appears to be in Old Alternian, which, for some reason, seems to be well within your ability to understand. The Maze.
A story about a troll trapped in a maze of a motherfucking mind.
Sounds ominous. And maybe appropriate, given your current circumstances. Marvis grins at you.
Sounds about right, buddy.
1. What is he planning, exactly? You're hearing a lot
I'll
about
get
his
the
plans,
message in a minute.
but you have to ask, what, exactly, is he planning? Because so far it seems like this is mostly just based on vibes and not actual, concrete information. 1.
Oh, ye of little faith. Ain't gonna let me go with this, are ya, buddy?
No, you'd really like an explanation. You feel like you're pretty far into this thing already, and you're sick of stumbling blindly through it. 1.
We're gonna make first contact. Gonna take that shit up to the highest motherfucking power there is around here.
The tentacle. 1. You're not gonna lie, that sounds like an absolutely insane plan. 1.
Buddy, that tentacle's a link right into the mind of Glibgalib. Been ruminating on these holy books. Think we got a chance to talk our way into an understanding.
He thinks that the tentacle is sentient. 1.
Nah, buddy. Not the tentacle, but the thing attached to it. Got a mind like you or me. Well, that might be a motherfucking oversimplification, but you know.
Okay, well, you're not entirely convinced that this plan is a good one, but it does feel like a plan. Can't be worse than simply sitting around and waiting for stuff to just happen. One. How much does he know?
You sure you want to answer that, buddy? It's a motherfucking sad story.
You feel like you've been through enough bullshit to deserve some answers. One.
Shit. MSPAR. You ain't wrong about that. Been through a mountain of pain to get here.
So, is he planning to give you even a single straight answer? One.
What I know? This place is a prison. Not just for us, but for the source of the dream, too.
The piece of GL Galib, he means. Marvis nods, looking thoughtful. One.
And piecing it together. Reading the histories that are here in this rotting shit pile of a library. The Horde Terror's got a long history with our people, thanks to the HBIC herself.
The Condis? Again, Marvis nods. One.
One for her bullshit, we'd be on the same foot as anyone else. Don't know the whole story, but I know she was the one who chained our people to those things. Worse than that, fixed her own lineage in irons for a taste of power. Daughter after daughter, each of them bound by the same blood.
He's talking about the system of the air Esses? Marvis places a hand on your shoulder and smiles. There's something deeply sad behind it. One.
Very motherfucking same, buddy. Their history and ours, we've been tied together for thousands of sweeps.
One. Does he know more about GL Galib? The lesson on the history of the Purples and the Fuchsias and the Horror Terrors was interesting, but you're still confused about GL Galib specifically. What is it? Why that
The
one?
unlucky one.
Specific
The
being
one that the Condis claimed as her lucis for countless generations. What a sick fucking joke. But it ain't that thing's fault, buddy.
But it's helping to keep them all trapped here? Using the dreamscape to keep them from taking over the spirulina or whatever. One.
The dream is just how that thing tries to talk. Can't exactly hop on our DMs.
That seems like a fair point, but you can't help but think he's making a lot of assumptions about exactly what's going on. One.
But I'm working on it. Why you think I want to be here to begin with?
Location.
Okay, let's take a
Self-voicing
look at
disabled.
this. Are they gonna cull me for all of this? Who knows? It's all open secrets. Okay.
Location.
Next location.
Twilight Hallway. Location. A series of paintings of various purple bloods line the wall, in various states of decay. You have no idea who any of these people are. Look.
Another book.
Reach down and find one of the books you've been looking for. The title is written in Old Alternian, but it appears to read the Archon. Location. Location. You can't tell if the debris left on the floor is the result of natural decay or someone, or something, rampaging through the hallway. You'd really prefer not to have that particular question answered. Location. You quickly search the dresser, but there doesn't seem to be anything important inside, just a bunch of dust and a mouse. Location.
Well, that mouse is the only living thing
Twilight
I've
hallway.
seen in here yet, so...
The ceiling is lined with decaying plaster and lit by a series of ghostly green-yellow lamps. It's a high ceiling, but it definitely has a finite ending point, unlike the star-speckled Dream World's version of this hallway. Location. Shadowed bedroom. This is the first room in this mansion that actually seems to have windows. Outside, you can see the carnival, torn down like it's ready to be transported somewhere else. You give the window a quick try, but of course it's stuck. You consider smashing the window, but you have a feeling that wouldn't work any more than trying to open it did. Kariko, honk, Kariko. Kariko shakes her head and points at the window, then down at a smashed lamp lying on the ground. Guess that didn't work, huh? She frowns. Kariko, honk. Kariko jumps onto the ratty mattress and rocks back and forth slowly. Location.
That book.
Sticking out from under the cover of the bed is a slender book. Pulling it out, you see the old Alternian title, The Inheritance. This must be one of the books that Shahad was looking for. Location. You're not sure what room lies below this one. The architecture of the mansion is a little bit confusing, to say the least. You try to shine the light from your palm husk down into the gap, but it's so dark that you can't see anything. Location. The windows look out over the carnival. You should be able to climb right out of them, but it seems like there's no way to get them open. A quick tap on the glass reveals that it's probably too thick to break. Location. The bed has clearly seen better days. The mattress is ripped, its stuffing piling out everywhere, and the sheets are tattered and stained. It looks like it might have been luxurious once, but those days ended eons ago. Location. You open the drawers to the dresser, hoping to find something useful. Instead, you're met only with a pile of dust and a bunch of oddly colored beetles that scuttle off into the darkness as soon as the light hits them. Location. Has she found any of the others? Kariko frowns and shakes her head in frustration. Kariko, honk honk. She makes a quick sign with her hands. You don't know that one. Kariko groans, then walks over to the corner of the room and, wait, wasn't there a door there just now? You came in through a door, you're pretty sure. Kariko, honk. She makes a pantomime of looking for a door and not finding anything. Okay, yeah, you're definitely sensing a certain weird shit happening theme here, Kariko. With an exaggerated shrug, Kariko walks back to the bed in the middle of the room and sits down heavily, causing the rusting old mattress springs to creak. You're working on figuring it out, okay. She grins at you and makes a gesture that looks like it's fine. Has she seen? She wants to leave Alternia. You've kind of been wrapped up in dealing with everything that's happening here, but you should probably explain exactly what's been happening. You spend a few minutes explaining the whole deal to Kariko about the locked timeline, Scratch, your powers, all that good stuff. It's actually kind of refreshing to get a chance to rehash your well-prepared speech about all of this stuff. The whole dream world created by GL Galib thing has really thrown you off your stride. Kariko, honk honk honk. Kariko is grinning with excitement by the end of your speech. But, you know, as exciting as all this sounds, there's still the problem of Scratch. Kariko, honk. Kariko glares. Yeah, you're not a fan either. You're still worried that Scratch is going to be a problem in the future. He hasn't really been doing anything, but you can't help but worry that he's still watching you. You're just trying to stay focused. Honestly, more often than not you've been helping figure out how to make things work for the folks who'd rather stay in this dimension. Which feels a little weird, given what you originally came here for. Kariko, honk. She signs with her hands, then points at herself and makes a face like she wants to ask you a question. Oh, wait, does she want to go back to your dimension with you? Kariko grins and nods enthusiastically. Well, yeah, you guess you could do that. Kariko smiles and makes another sign. You can't figure it out. Kariko. She tries again. This time, she walks over and draws a symbol in the dust with her finger, a symbol you recognize. It looks like Brynja's sign. Kariko nods and smiles. Kariko, honk. Does she want? Has she seen any books? Kariko, honk. Kariko gestures excitedly and shows you a book bound in faded cloth. Embossed on the cover is the word Carnival. Kariko. Kariko opens the book and scans her fingers over the text, miming confusion while she points at the text. You're guessing she can't read Old Alternian? Kariko, honk. She nods and grins at you. Okay, that doesn't surprise you very much. You're guessing it wasn't exactly something Brynja was super well versed in, huh? Kariko shakes her head. Kariko, honk. She looks sad and makes a sign with her fingers that you don't understand. That's it for now. What's her opinion on GL Galib? You're not sure how this one is gonna go, considering it's a complicated topic and your knowledge of ASL is less than rudimentary. But you're curious how Kariko feels about the whole eldritch horror that alters reality thing. You've been getting some kind of mixed messages about exactly what's going on there. Kariko cocks her head to the side and purses her lips. Kariko. Kariko, honk honk? She forms some ASL words that you don't understand. Trying again, Kariko gestures all around the room, points out the windows, and makes a broad, sweeping gesture with her hands. Is she asking if GL Galib made all of this? Kariko nods. Kariko, honk. Oh, yeah, you think so. You're not really sure what's going on yourself. You're used to playing things by ear, but this is an especially, let's call it an improvisatory kind of situation. Kariko, honk. Kariko makes a gesture that feels like skepticism. Does she want to see Brynja again? Kariko nods and gestures enthusiastically. You don't need to know ASL to figure out what that means. It's been a while since she saw Brynja, right? Kariko, honk. She nods and gestures toward her heart and then makes a breaking gesture with her hands. Yeah, you can understand that. The next gesture is, it's more complicated, and you can't really follow it. You think maybe, something about a group of people? Family. Kariko, honk. Kariko nods and motions for you to continue. Okay, so, like, to Jade Bloods. Head shake, not that. The other purples. Kariko nods and makes a kind of doubling gesture with her hands. She misses Brynja and the other purple bloods are important to her? A nod. Yeah, that's what you thought. Brynja isn't planning to leave. You offered to take Brynja and the other Jade Bloods with you back to the locked timeline, but they all decided to stay behind on Alternia instead. Kariko. Kariko puts her hands out to her sides with the palms up. It feels like a question. Well, if she's wondering why, you can't really speak for Brynja and the others, but you got the sense that they saw a way to try to improve things for other Alternians. The grubs and such in the caverns, to give them a life that isn't just defined by what the Empire wants from them. Kariko, honk. She points to herself, then down at the ground. Does she want to know if she'd be able to go back to Alternia? You guess so. She did seem pretty capable. Kariko. Kariko shrugs and looks around, then makes a couple quick motions with her hands, ending with enfolding one hand in the other. She doesn't want to leave the others, does she? Kariko shakes her head. Well, you can't make that decision for her or any of the others. Kariko nods, her eyes cast downward. Kariko, honk. Location.
Okay, let's see here.
Location. Location.
Alright, time to fizz up.
Take a small sip out of the can of here in this cursed place. You can stay in the dream as long as you need to. Look. There's a book just kind of floating in the middle of the air. That definitely wasn't there before. You reach out and grab the book. The title, written in Old Alternian, reads the rituals. That's unsettling. Location. Look.
See, now I'm more afraid that the game is just going to crash or something, and I'll lose lost progress.
Sounds fucking boring. Have you tried checking the library?
Well, yeah. The thing is, you're looking for some specific books for Chahat. And she can't leave the library soon.
Yeah. We get it. We're not wigglers anymore. We know how things work.
So, have they happened to see any ancient holy texts around?
As a matter of fact,
Baisley hands you a tome bound in what you really hope is leather. It has a title written in Old Alternian that reads The Pillars.
We can't even read this book.
You guess that makes sense. You guess Old Alternian isn't taught in Alternian primary school. Maybe in Clown College. Is that a thing?
You're an idiot! That was a pretty stupid thing to say.
You talk to Marvis.
Is he here in the mansion?
Yeah, he's actually in the library. But, like, the library in the real world, not the dream world. Is that making sense?
Nah. Yes, it makes sense. This place doesn't follow the same rules as the rest of the carnival.
Well, in any case, Marvis has some theories about communicating with GL Galib and trying to, you're not sure? Work something out?
Work something out? That's so fucking stupid! We're not sure that this is the kind of thing that can be worked out, is what we mean. Seriously, this is the best fucking joke I've ever heard.
You think it's a good idea. You think it's actually a really good idea.
Of course you do. Because you're stupid too. That's what we mean. Anyway, we don't agree with what Marvis is doing. Even if he's older, that doesn't make him smarter.
You talk
She's
to
still
Chahat.
giving a shit about not studying more?
Actually, yeah, you guess she is. She seemed not to be super happy with that, but also mostly preoccupied with figuring out what to do.
She probably loves being here with all these old books and stuff.
You feel like it's kind of complicated. The whole being trapped thing seems to definitely put a damper on the enjoyment she's getting out of this.
Well, maybe she should have thought of that before getting trapped.
Aren't they trapped here too?
Obviously. We're all trapped here.
Location.
Okay.
Location. Moonlit hallway. Huh, that's weird. You could have sworn that this wasn't there before. Not only that, but there seems to be something more real about the book than the surrounding dreamscape. You pick it up and look at the cover, the old Alternian spelling out the bleed. That's incredibly ominous. It looks like you've managed to find all 7 books that Chahat was looking for. You should head back and let her know.
Okay. Save scum just in case.
Location. Library of Stars. Location. You found her missing books.
Little one, I knew you wouldn't disappoint. Give me those. Sit down. This will take a minute.
After about a half hour, you hear some commotion in the library, and the twin forms of Barzum and Baisley appear, seemingly walking right through the walls.
Chahat? Are you here? Yeah, come on, stop with the boring ass books for just 1 minute. We wanted to hang out.
Little ones, now is not the time. Lay your righteous energy on this one instead.
Barzum turns to you and grins wildly.
Hey there. What are you helping Chahat with? We're genuinely curious.
Well, like you mentioned before, you were looking for some books for her. Now she's studying the books looking for, you're not sure.
A way out? Oh, maybe she's looking for a way to control this place. Like, magic.
You're, like, 60% sure that isn't true.
I seek the truth, little ones. The complete whole that was denied me when I studied on Alternia. The pure clarity of vision that this place was designed to conceal. But now, its secrets start to unfold for me. Have patience.
How did you manage to find all those books, anyway? Yeah, we didn't even see half that stuff.
Well, see, you've been using a magical bottle of Fago too.
Child, have you been imbibing the mystical beverage to walk between the planes of reality? I'd urge caution when doing that.
Oh yeah, you know. Marvis told you to be careful how long you spent in the dream reality.
It's more than that.
Ooh, you're in trouble now.
It can't be helped. Let us drink of the red pop together, just this once.
One by one, they take a sip of the Fago. When it gets to you, Chahat holds out a hand to stop you.
Not you, little one. Not yet. First, let us say the blessing together.
Chahat closes her eyes and mutters something under her breath in a language you don't understand. They're gone. What the hell? Quickly, you scramble with the bottle of red pop, taking a quick swig. You can feel reality swirling around you, rushing back in, and you're back in the rotted husk of the library.
Goddamn. Y'all shut up pretty fucking sudden.
Marvis glances at Chahat, narrowing his eyes.
You been busy. I see.
Brother, I've been busier than you could imagine, thanks to this one.
She gestures to you and you smile nervously.
Right. About damn time y'all got back.
Chahat's got a plan. We think that Chahat has a plan. Anyway.
Without another word, Chahat begins walking toward the end of the library, muttering something in the same unknown language. As she reaches the corner, a door appears exactly where you expect a door to be. Chahat grabs the handle and pulls. The door swings open freely.
Been working on that for a hot minute. Too much to ask I did that.
We're going to follow Chahat. Feel free to stay here.
Guess you're going too, buddy.
You step through the door and find yourself back in the hallway. The lights flicker above you, but there's something more constant about the way everything feels now, more grounded. Kariko, honk. Kariko comes around the corner, signing with her fingers as she walks toward you. She got out of the bedroom. Kariko, honk honk. She's nodding excitedly.
It's good to see you, little sister. Mirthful ones be praised. It seems I was right.
You're extremely lost right now. Chahat smiles.
Of course, worry not. We'll soon be facing the answers you seek.
Chahat steps toward the door to the hallway. You brace yourself for the inevitable moment where the same force that trapped you all here decides to react to her. But she opens the door and steps outside.
Looks like she was able to figure something out. That's her, girl! Chahat's the best!
Wait, but they seem pretty disinterested in actually studying Chahat's books.
Let's go!
Before you can even finish your thought, Barzum and Baisley literally cartwheel out the open door. Kariko, honk. Kariko gestures for you to follow and runs out the door.
Buddy, tell him to get the fuck out of here. Looks like Chahat's got a plan. You good? You got a certain confused ass look in your face.
You're just not sure what's happening here. Chahat started reading from the books you found, and that's letting you all get out of the mansion?
High powers, friend. That's the shit we dealing with here. Shit, I figured as much.
You step cautiously toward the door. Something doesn't quite feel right here. Outside, the mansion has a slightly more real feeling to it. Instead of the kind of uncertain, shifting unreality, it just feels like a decrepit old house on a hill. An old house on a hill. You stand in the pale ghost light of the oldest place. The twin moons blaze in the sky above you, inconstant eyes that glare hatred down on you.
You good, buddy? You're looking a little paler than normal.
You're not supposed to be in this place. This palace. That exists outside of time.
Buddy? You good?
You're not. No, you're really not. You feel like something is poking through into your reality from another one. You're having a harder and harder time figuring out what's real.
All the more reason to get some motherfucking answers.
You glance once more at the house before turning to follow the others. It seems like they're all heading towards the helter-skelter at the center of the carnival. Above you, the purple sun. The purple sun gleams with an energy that feels like malice and confusion and pain all wrapped into one. The purple bloods are all circled around a helter-skelter, looking up at the sun. The sun, is that anything? The child of something greater and more powerful than anything else in your world. God. No, not God, God, something else. Something greater to you and lesser to everyone else. You're losing the thread.
Little one, we appear to be at an impasse. The mirthful messiahs have led me here.
You're not understanding what's happening here. Ever since she started leading everyone out of the mansion, things have been feeling wrong.
You see the bleed, child.
The bleed? Wasn't that the title of one of those books? Chahat nods, her face surprisingly gentle.
Yes, we had so little time to speak of our people. A sad state of affairs. If only I could tell you the tales. The stories of how our history was redacted and twisted by the Condes. How our once grandfather was turned into a mere puppet of the Empire. A shallow husk of himself.
She sighs heavily.
And at the heart of it all, there was the bleed. The ever-flowing slide away from the truth. The thrashing, undulating consequences of that thing in that tower.
The tower. The tower. You look past Chahat, at the tower.
Little one.
The door. The door is open. Kariko. Honk. You push past Kariko, practically shoving her aside. This is more important. Doesn't anyone else The door is open.
Buddy, you better be sure this is what you want to do.
The door to the tower. You step over the threshold and you're enveloped by darkness. You find yourself thinking of a maze. We have seen what this flesh prison requires. We will grant its wish. Do not attempt to adjust your video game device.
What is this? And the game just shut down. So let me try booting it up again. Maybe that was a crash. Maybe it's pulling some Doki Doki Literature Club.
This visual novel may contain themes and images. If you have questions, seek answers elsewhere. Do not attempt to adjust your video game device.
Alright, pulling some jeez. Okay, this do I want? Yes, getting I'm toying with the idea of continuing on or calling it here and trying this next time, because I don't really know how long this Technicolor Heart thing is. I would hate to start a stream, next time and it being just like, just like 15 minutes and it's like, oh, well, there we go, but, yeah, I gotta be a responsible adult here and, shoot. I got stuff to take care of, so damn it, this is gonna have to be it for the stream, and we'll pick this up next time. So who knows? Maybe it'll be a short stream next time, maybe it'll be a long one, I don't know. What I do want to know is, well, then again, I don't really need to save it, because I'll open it up and it'll come right back to here, so anyway, till next time, later.